You're being politically correct there.
You know, I like Scotty's mentality. Like the last game, we saw, 4 of those, and they called one for goaltending.
Force the refs to make it, right?
And they reverse it, make them call it. They're not going to call them all.
Jackson to Aldama on the near side, cut off on the baseline, goes back on the perimeter to Kennard, 3-ball. Up, no good, long rebound comes out. Jackson gets to it, though, as Trent jumped out but couldn't squeeze. Aldama in the near corner in front of the Raptor bench. Air ball and battling down low for the rebound. That should be a foul. How is that not a foul? Jackson Jonesy came over quickly shoulder to wrap that up. And now it's going to be Jaren Jackson against Emmanuel Quickly.
On the jump.
He was behind him and came over his shoulder, had only one arm on it, trying to rip it away.
Well, and then if you box out, they call you for a foul. So I'm not sure how this works.
Darko's saying the same thing right now.
Well, whatever James Williams said, Darko bought it.
All about positioning right now with the much smaller Quickly going up against Jaren Jackson.
It's like a rebound, though. When it comes off, step in front.
Well, the Grizz control. Jackson straight away, 3-ball. And he falls to the floor, and they call an offensive foul. On the kick out, throwing that leg out.
Well, he was way off balance when he shot it. He caught it and shot it really quickly. But he did stick his left leg out. Yep.
He does have a funky delivery on the best of times. Raptors still with only a deuce on the board, trailing 6-2, 2.5 minutes into the ballgame. Quickly across center court, driving on the far side. Cut off near the far elbow, elevated for the jumper, and great job there by Conchar to get out there, get a hand on it, and get a partial block. Memphis across center, handoff, Williams to Kennard. Over to Jackson, straight away, back to Kennard on the wing far side. Over to Jackson, still above the arc, now puts it on the floor, driving into the paint on Porter, and the running floater goes, and a late whistle comes in, and a 3-point opportunity for Jackson with Memphis leading 8-2, and Darko has seen enough, calling a timeout less than 3 minutes into the ballgame.
Darko's always had a quick trigger when he doesn't like the way things are going, and I would say this, I'm expecting a change. Jaren Jackson, really the only inside guy. In terms of shooters, you keep your eye on Aldama and certainly Kennard.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see a zone when the Raptors break this timeout.
Well, we'll find out in a couple of minutes. 9:13 to go in the opening frame. Raptors down 8-2. A free throw to come for the Grizzlies on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Move up to Heathwood. Hi, I'm Hugh Herwin. Experience true luxury at Williamsburg Green in Kitchener. Williamsburg Green is everything you want in a community. Enjoy fabulous trails, parks, playgrounds, sports areas, and more. Our beautiful all-brick homes include luxury features you've always dreamed of, even a fully finished lower level. It's time to move up to Heathwood. Learn more at heathwood.com.
439 Pizza Nova. 439 Pizza Nova.
Ciao, I'm Dominic Primucci, and I have one word for you: lasagna. Comfort food at its best, and Pizza Nova has mastered this Italian classic with our rich tomato sauce, savory ground beef, and melted mozzarella cheese, all baked to perfection. Indulge yourself, think Italian, and taste the difference.
439 Pizza Nova.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. First quarter action, 9:13 to go. Raptors trailing 8-2. Memphis shooting 50% from the floor. The Raptors just 1 of 3 and already with a couple of turnovers.
Well, problem is second chance points, offensive rebounds. We talked about how key the rebounding would be. It's 4-1 already, Memphis. And the Raptors have turned it over twice. They're 1 for 3 with 2 turnovers. It's not a good formula going right now.
And the Raptors do make a change coming out of the timeout. And Jonte Porter sits down, Jonesy, and Bruce Brown comes in. So the Raptors going small, which you would assume then means, as you were talking, that they probably will end up going zone. We're getting a look at Porter on the bench right now, too. I don't know if he got hit or scraped in the eye, but he's getting some eye drops put in on the bench, and he seems to be favoring that left eye. Free throw no good for Jackson, so this lead stays at 8-2. Brown's got it for the Raptors out on the far side. Now getting into the paint, lost the handle, and it's picked up by Memphis. So a third turnover, and Memphis, luckily for Raptor fans, promptly gives it right back. Darko Rajakovic looking at Bruce Brown saying, come on, man, get the shot off. Get in the lane like that, take the shot. And Brown just kind of nods at the coach and says yes. Maybe trying to do a little too much there when he got in the lane. Raptors inbound from the far side. Scotty Barnes. Now to Gary Trent, sets the feed on the wing far side, left that one short. Long rebound comes out to Scotty Barnes. Whips it over to Quickly, near sideline. 3 ball is good. And that's a big-time shot, much needed for the Raptors.
Yeah, under duress as well. There was a good closeout by a much taller player. Raptors still in the man-to-man. Scotty Barnes now guarding Jaren Jackson Jr.
8-5, Raptors cut the lead in half. Kennard cut off on the far side, goes cross-court with the pass to Williams, who airs it from in front of the Raptor bench.
Great challenge by Brown, coming at him with the left hand.
Quickly goes at Aldama, gets into the lane, tried to fire a pass into the near corner to Bruce Brown, and a tough one through a lot of traffic, picked off. Raptors with 4 turnovers. Grizz have yet to score, though, off any of these turnovers. We'll see if that changes right here. Jackson lost the handle, but it kind of careens over to Williams. Back over to Jackson, far side. Puts it in the paint. Kicks back out to Williams, and as he looked for Kennard, it goes out of bounds. I thought it was deflected by the Raptors. Kennard saying, how did you not see that? And the officials are saying, nope, that's off Memphis. It's Toronto ball.
There are more turnovers than anything else right now. 8 turnovers, and we're not quite 5 minutes in.
Barnes to Trent. Gary above the arc, now driving toward the far side, hands off to Barrett. Nice pass to a cutting Scotty Barnes in the lane. Tried to go far corner to Brown and sailed the pass over his head, and another turnover. A sloppy start to the game for the Raptors and for the Grizz, for that matter, with Memphis leading 8-5.
I wonder if Scotty felt the presence of one of the league's best shot blockers in Jaren Jackson Jr. That said, go strong, make him foul you.
Toward center court, Konchar's got it right now, quickly in front of him. They find Jackson above the free throw line, puts it on the floor, drives to the tin, and gets it to go off glass as he beats Scotty to the tin. 10-5, Memphis has doubled up the Raptors. Brown driving into the paint, trying to work against Aldama as he comes into the near corner. Now goes back through the paint again, spins, fires, no good as he shot it about 7 feet from 6 feet. Too strong hitting that back rim. Here comes Jackson again. Over to Konchar. Konchar turning the corner into the paint, kicks out to Aldama. 3 ball far wing, no good. Down low, all Raptors did a nice job boxing out Jackson on that one. Quickly across center. On the near side, Barnes comes over, sets a screen. Quickly whips the pass now left to right around the perimeter over to Trent. Far side Gary, up top to RJ. Barrett driving to the tin, and he went right at Jackson. A little hesitation, then laid it in.
That's how you're supposed to do it with a shot blocker. Space is the friend of a shot blocker. Get into his chest, take the contact.
Memphis leading 10-7. Near side, Konchar hands off to Jackson on the wing. Jackson goes back over to Konchar. Jackson was looking for the pass. Are they going to get it to him? Yes. Down on the block, near side. Double teamed on the baseline. Cross-court pass out on the far side on the perimeter. Kennard, desperation 3 ball with the shot clock winding down. No good. And the Raptors track down the long rebound in the far corner.
Love the timing of the double team on Jaren Jackson Jr.
Barnes in the paint, wrapped up. A lot of contact, no call. Darko was screaming for it. Memphis comes the other way, and that's going to be a goaltend on Toronto. Unfortunately, I think Williams was going to miss that shot, so they just sort of gifted him that bucket.
I'll take the hustle from RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
That said, live ball turnovers. Toronto's up to 6 now. 6 turnovers in half a quarter. That rate has to change.
12-7. Memphis again has the lead to 5. Their largest was 6. Raptors with only 7 points through more than half a quarter.
Toronto ball.
Quickly was looking for a bounce pass through traffic. It was deflected by Memphis.
Number 8, Zion Williams. And number 21, David
A couple of changes now. Scotty's coming out. Barnes 2 points, a block, a rebound, and an assist in 7 minutes.
Second in for the Raptors, number 21,
Thad Young comes in for the Raptors. Zion Williams in for Memphis. And a nice entry pass by Toronto to RJ, who was right under the 10. And with his back to the basket, he laid it up over his shoulder and in.
Well, good execution on the inbound. It's pretty good considering, like I said, these guys haven't really played a lot together.
David Roddy coming in for the Grizzlies as well as Jackson gets down toward the left block, and that was easy. Leaned in over Thad and got it to go, but nobody got back from Memphis. Down Main Street, RJ Barrett with the one-hand lefty flush, and immediately Coach Jenkins calls the timeout.
We see where Darko gets it from. One thing that they don't like, and it's walk out onto the floor. Taylor Jenkins upset, as you should be. You score, and before anybody's back. I mean, RJ was closer to the basket than any Memphis player, and he jammed it down.
5:10 to go in the opening quarter. The Raptors trailing the Grizzlies 14-11 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
We are summer. Are you ready? Are you ready?
It's on now. North America's largest indoor boat show, the Toronto International Boat Show. Browse, compare, shop, deal. The best place to see boats is the best place to buy them. January 19th to 28th at the Enercare Center.
We are summer. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
The Toronto Boat Show.
Visit TorontoBoatShow.com.
Great goal! Let's go to Dave at the bench.
Oh, what a shot, Gord. Last time we spoke, you had been really tired. Not anymore.
Yeah, I was losing sleep. I was snoring every night. Then I saw Dr. Pillersdorf, and she treated my snoring with her laser and gave me an oral appliance, like a sports mouth guard, for my sleep apnea. Now my wife and I sleep restfully.
Thanks, Gord.
Problem snoring? Suffer from sleep apnea? Book an appointment with Dr. Paulette Pillersdorf. Call 647-243-2006.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 5:10 to go, opening quarter. Raptors trailing the Grizzlies by 3, 14-11. First quarter action here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet app. Brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. We are getting word from our courtside engineer, producer, and courtside reporter, J.R. Manatad, that Jonte Porter did head back to the locker room, Jonesy. Again, we don't know if it's an injury, could just be a contact lens, but he was getting that left eye looked at and had some drops put in as well. So if we get word of any issue or any news of any kind, we will pass it along to you in regards to Jonte Porter. Schroeder comes into the ball game for the Raptors. Trent sits down. Conchar's got it, driving into the paint for the Grizz. Got down toward the block, missed it. Down low, though, Memphis gets all over the glass. And David Roddy lays it back in.
Well, there's the rebounding that I talked about in the pregame.
Yep. 6-6 right now, the rebounding totals. Thad Young, nice cut to RJ Barrett. Coming along the baseline and a bounce pass in traffic and a two-hand flush.
Great job by Thad Young. He's really, really adapted to that high post roll.
Roddy at the free throw line, goes over far sideline. Williams lost it. Out towards center court, he tracks the ball back down, picked up by Brown. Over to Roddy on the near side. To Jackson. Shot clock winding down. It's at 2. Jackson spins, fires. Thad Young was there. Good contest. And Jackson missed the shot from about 18 feet. Brown the other way to the trailer, Barrett. Barrett now puts it on the floor, drives on Roddy, tripped up from behind. And you could hear the ahs and oohs from behind here, from the fans, from the bench, from everybody, as Barrett took a nasty tumble to the floor.
I love RJ getting downhill. He was a trailer on that one. Caught it a lot of times in today's NBA. That's a trail 3. And great footwork to little shot fake and gets the defender off balance, but he's got to start knocking down free throws.
He missed that one badly, well short. Came into the ballgame shooting 77%. Now, he was around 80 prior to the last game, and you remember he had some serious issues at the line in New York a couple of nights ago. Second free throw clean, and RJ with 9 points here in the opening quarter. We still got 4 minutes to go, and the Raptors, Jonesy, starting to put things together a little bit, shooting 60% from the floor, trailing by 2. Started the game 1 of 3. They are 5 for their last 7. Memphis shooting 47%, but again leading by 2. That's a charge, yes sir. Thad Young put the body on the line, and he was standing there waiting, and Zaire Williams drove right into him.
Well, Thad is a different kind of rim protector. He will take charges, he will stand in, give up his body. You know, he's undersized, but he really gives the team a lift playing in the middle.
And the Raptors promptly turn it over. Jackson comes back the other way. Nice job by Bruce Brown down low to wrap that up.
He had his hands all over the ball.
Let me ask you this. If it wasn't a foul when he first put his hands on the ball, why was it a foul at the last second? Well, he had it wrapped up.
He not only did he have it wrapped up, there was a ref right there looking at it. And referee John Conley saying, well, his hand slid off the ball and down the guy's wrist. Well, if it's there for 2 seconds, it should be a held ball.
Yeah.
If it's tied up like that, it should be, well, both guys, it's a held ball.
Maybe a little ball don't lie, but unfortunately the Raptors don't get on the glass. So another 1 of 2 at the stripe, but another offensive rebound, and unfortunately another bucket. So it turns into a 3-point trip nevertheless, and the lead extends to 5 again at 19-14.
Jonte Porter poked in the left eye and is available to return.
There we go. Well, we were on it. Thad Young was right on the tin right there, right under the hoop, laid it in. And a nice find there in traffic from Quickly. Jackson from Memphis, 3-ball on the wing near side, goes down. And the 6-point lead, largest of the game for Memphis at 22-16. Quickly across center. At that big logo now fading toward the far side. Comes around a Thad Young screen, turns the corner into the paint, stops on a dime, fires back out on the perimeter to Barrett. On the near side, hand off to Schroeder. Schroeder on the near sideline now turning, firing cross court to Quickly. Quickly trying to shake free from Zaire Williams, gets into the paint. And that pass deflected away.
Too much size there when you drive in on Jaren Jackson Jr. The guy's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every year.
And a fake pass, and a feet set, and a 3-ball drop from Vince Williams Jr. And just like that, the lead is up to 9.
8 turnovers for 10 points. Like, the Raptors are shooting 64%. Problem is they've only had 11 shots. Everett, twice a year when they play them, the word Vancouver rolls off my tongue so easily, but Memphis, 10 of 18. They've got 7 more shots thanks to the turnovers and leading Toronto 7-3 at second chance points. Toronto must value the ball better. Must value the ball better.
We'll keep it here, Jonesy, with 2:27 to go. Raptors had it within 3 at 19-16. Actually, it was within 2 at 16-14. And I was talking about how they were shooting 60%. Well, heck, they're still shooting 64%. But to your point, it's those turnovers that are destroying them right now.
You can't give the ball away, and you got to rebound. Then you take your chances. Offense is good enough in this league, particularly with the way the rules are going, that you're going to score. Your offense has to keep you in games, but you've got to give your offense a chance by rebounding, 1, and 2, not throwing the ball away.
Raptors come out of the timeout with a young fan on the screen wearing his McLovin t-shirt, trying to jack up the crowd and get them going. Grady Dick coming in for the Raptors. as Dennis Schroeder turned the corner on the far side, got to the 10 and was fouled on a layup attempt. So he will go to the free throw line, and I like seeing Grady getting out there and getting a little burn, Jonesy.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a floor spacer.
This is valuable time for him. And, you know, Darko talked about in his interview how important development is. He was Desmond Bain's guy in Memphis. He was Jaren Jackson Jr.'s guy. That was part of his portfolio as an assistant coach. And he's giving Grady a chance here, especially with the kind of depleted lineup after the trade. But it's important. It is important.
We had an official's timeout there for a moment. It looked like Jaren Jackson was maybe getting a small cut or something dealt with. Nothing major. He's back out on the floor as Schroeder goes to the line, knocks down the first free throw. Jackson with 14 points and 5 steals in the opening quarter. Schroeder getting set for his second free throw. He has cut it to 8 right now. Second one up and in. Memphis leading now 25-18. Roddy comes across center for the Grizz, and he just had his pocket picked by Schroeder. Down the floor comes Dennis to the trailer. Scotty down Main Street, dunk it down. Great job and vision from Dennis Schroeder.
Well, good defensive instincts, and then the point guard in him knowing that there's help coming as he drives against a taller guy.
Jackson puts it on the floor, gets to the free throw line, cut off by Thad Young out on the perimeter now. Zaire Williams driving on the far side, got into the painted area, floated up, hit the back rim, rebound to Thad Young. So the Raptors get a stop, and here they come. Quick hit ahead. Brown on the far side. Toward the baseline now, goes back out on the perimeter. Young to Schroeder. Schroeder's got it straight away. Dennis at the free throw line, kicks back out to Brown on the wing, far side. Bruce Brown for 3, and the Raptors punch back to get it back down to 2. Wow. It's 25-23.
Schroeder doing a nice job, really nice job, spreading the floor and collapsing the defense.
1:15 to play in the frame. Jackson has played the entire quarter thus far. Goes over to Roddy on the near side. Roddy now getting to the free throw line, trying to spin past Thad Young. Goes into the near corner in front of the Raptor bench. Triple is good as Memphis punches back on the G.G. Jackson triple. Thad Young with under a minute to go, finding Schroeder. Dennis above the arc, now lobs it inside. On the near side, block to Barnes. Cross court over to Grady Dick, far sideline. And he had a great look but couldn't answer back with a 3-ball of his own. Got to knock those ones down.
Yeah, you got to knock those down. It's a great look. I mean, that shot was off by quite a bit.
Grady held his ground defensively as Memphis passes out to Roddy. Back around the perimeter. Jackson to Jackson. Jaren going to the 10 and dunking it down, using all that length.
Well, you know, again, that's a 6'11" guy. 250. He's out there playing like a 6-footer.
Scotty Barnes quickly back for the Raptors. 19.2 seconds remaining in the quarter. Raptors trailing by 5, 30-25 as Barnes gets it from about 10, 11 feet. Roddy backing up towards center. Last shot time for the Grizz. Over on the far side, Roddy on a switch picked up by Thad. He's trying to work against that. Goes up top to Jackson, deflected by Barnes, who's held in the middle of the court, prevented him from getting to the ball.
They missed everything. Jackson touched the ball, and Scotty was held. That ball touched Jaren Jackson. Scotty tipped it, and everybody thought, oh, it's the tip. That ball hit Jaren Jackson.
Yep.
It hit Jaren
Barnes,
Jackson.
Then hit Jackson.
Yes. I mean, if there was more than 0.6, you would challenge.
Well, the Raptors stand tall defensively as Zaire Williams misses the heat from center court. So Toronto will go to the second quarter shooting a blistering 67%, but trailing by 5. 30-25, Memphis on top. We'll talk more about it when we come back on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590. The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
When you're looking to play, Bad Rivers will make your day.
Take a chance, you'll see.
You like slots, we've got lots. Blackjack, roulette, take your shot.
It's where you want to be. Bet Rivers Online Casino has hundreds of slots, live table games, and more.
Take a chance.
Must be 18 plus. Available in Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I just helped Tom with a business loan. He needed to soup up his mechanic shop. Not to brag, but I once modified a car to match my ultra speed. It went so fast, it broke the speed of sound. At least no one was inside. I hope no one was inside. I guess I'll just stick to approving business loans.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616.
Owning a 2024 Honda CR-V Touring Hybrid is more than just about amazing performance and capability. It's a feeling, a hybrid of feelings, if you will, like the freedom of adventure that comes with all-wheel drive, or the comforting confidence of Honda sensing safety technology. And with a range of up to 800 kilometers on a single tank, you'll also find that driving it just feels good. Right now, get that Honda feeling and a $1,000 Honda bonus when you lease the CR-V Touring Hybrid for just 4.99% for 30 months OAC, based on combined fuel ratings. In stock now, see HondaOntario.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Getting set to start the second quarter. 30-25. Raptors trailing by 5. And Jonesy, I'm pretty confident I know what you're going to tell me is the number one key from that opening frame.
Got to look after the ball. 8 turnovers. Giving up 10 points. That's almost half the total for a game in a quarter. Raptors have really got to, I mean, like, you know, we highlighted the fact that they're shooting 67%, but the offensive rebounds, second chance points, and the turnovers are ghastly right now.
Raptors start the frame with the ball, far sideline. Dennis Schroeder rips the cords on a triple from the west side, and the Raptors again have it down to 2.
How about Bruce Brown with the punch dribble, drawing the defense and finding Schroeder with a great pass.
Memphis trying to answer back, and they can't on the Kennard 3-ball. High for the rebound. Grady Dick ahead to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder right to left, weaving around the paint, then back out on the perimeter. Gives it up to Scotty Barnes. Barnes wanting to clear out, trying to go against the much smaller Gilliard, and went cross court with a sloppy pass that was an easy pickoff. I don't know where Scotty was going with that. Kennard out on the logo at center into the paint. Gives it up to Tillman. Tillman back to Kennard. Back to Tillman. Leans in on Thad Young, then turns, fires, and spins with the layup.
Well, Xavier Tillman was a starter at one point, so he knows what he's doing out there.
Barnes to Thad Young, handing it off to Grady Dick. Back out to Barnes. Took a step inside the arc, now backs up a bit, trying to work on Tillman. Went left, turns right, fires up the jumper, rattled 2 ribs, popped out. Darko didn't look like he was happy with that one. I think he wanted the ball moving.
Well, Scotty it was one of those where I'm trying to get it right back after the turnover on the last sequence.
Gilliard right now trying to go against Grady Dick. In the near corner to Aldama. Thad Young in front of him. Aldama puts it on the floor, into the paint, passes out, far wing. Gilliard's got it right now. Steps into a 3. Raptors might have got a piece on that one, but either way, Gilliard missed and the Raptors get the rebound.
Good use of his size by Grady, playing the angle on that one.
Pass deflected from Brown. Ends up right back in his hands, and the Raptors have it as Schroeder was looking to bounce past that to Scotty Barnes, who would cut into the 10, and dangerous to another turnover.
Well, a high-risk pass. Right-hand hook pass on the bounce, going to the right, back to the left. Makes it really, really difficult.
10-10 to go, second quarter. Raptors trailing the Grizzlies 32-28. They'll inbound from the baseline. Schroeder to do the honors. Got to get it going here as he gets it into Grady Dick in the near corner. Over to Thad Young. Thad Young now hands off to Schroeder, turning the corner toward the paint. Spins and left it short, but tracks down his own miss. So fresh 14 for the Raptors. Now Schroeder drives toward the baseline, scoops it up and in as he just torched Kennard and got him to the 10.
Good recognition there. That strong side cleared out. There was no help, and Kennard not nearly the foot speed to be able to stay with Schroeder.
Kennard's got it right now.
Schroeder's given Toronto a real lift off the bench.
Grizzlies whip it over. A 3-ball no good for G.G. Jackson, and the Raptors get the rebound and a chance to tie or take the lead right here. Raptors have never been ahead in this ballgame. We're 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Lob pass from Young to Barnes right under the 10. Catches, fires, floats it in, and we're tied at 32.
Great high-low pass. Thad Young with great touch, getting it to Scotty. And a great catch by Scotty, and not trying to do too much. Catch it, secure it, come down, and lay it in.
Raptors still shooting a blistering 65%, and they've come back to tied at 32 with 9:25 to go in the second quarter. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Let's get jerseys. Let's get jerseys.
Right now, become a Tangerine client with a savings account, and you could get a free Raptors jersey.
We want jerseys.
Finally, a savings account worth cheering for.
Jerseys. Jerseys.
Find out how to score a jersey at tangerine.ca/Raptors. Tangerine. That's forward banking. Available to new clients who open and fund an eligible account while supplies last. Conditions apply.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
I want to get into investing, but I'm not sure where to start.
Now, they say to diversify, but I am going 100% all in on all-you-can-eat boneless chicken from St. Louis Bar and Grill for just $19.99.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm no economist, but those are assets I can appreciate.
Wait, aren't you the guy that lost his shirt on NFTs?
They weren't fungible.
All-you-can-eat boneless chicken, only $19.99, and only at St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good. Dining only, limited time, taxes extra.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Second quarter, 9:25 to play. The Raptors have come back from down 9 to tie it at 32, and the offense still blistering. Balanced attack thus far tonight. Barnes has 8 on 4 of 5 shooting, and how about Barrett Jonesy with 9 on 4 of 4, 8 of 9 from 2/3 of, what do they call it, the BBQ line or the BBQ connection? Either way, Barnes, Barrett, and quickly BBQ in Toronto.
Well, I'd like to see them cook without the extra grease, as in turnovers. But let's see if they can get that under control the rest of the game. Certainly shooting it well.
Toronto getting a lift from their second unit as well. As Jonesy mentioned a couple of moments ago, Schroeder's got 7 off the bench in 8 minutes of action. He's there right now in front of Kennard, who fires a pass over to Tillman. Tillman looking to give it back to Kennard. Instead keeps it himself. Barnes is up on him. Over to Aldama. Aldama on the far side now, driving to the 10 and dunking it down on a two-hand flush. An impressive move from the young man, G.G. Jackson.
Yeah, got to step on the baseline. When airborne, South Carolina kid can really, really fly.
Memphis goes back up by 2, 34-32. Thad Young getting a good long burn here in this first half. Steps into a jumper, Scotty Barnes from 22 feet, no good. Jonte Porter with that eye issue that we spoke of earlier, available to return, and he's going to do so in a moment, getting set to check in at the scores table. Tillman has it. Out to Kennard, near sideline, 3-ball. Kennard is good. Gave him too much space, and he's going to knock most of those down.
Well, he was on the move. He gave a nice little misdirection, stepped left before coming back to the right, and that's the square when you're a left-hander going to your right.
Barnes driving on the near side, went up with the left hand, missed it, cleaned up down low by Thad Young. Thad tried to save it far sideline, but Grady Dick couldn't squeeze it and keep it in bounds. Kennard, 3-ball, far wing is good. And Grady tried to contest from behind, but Kennard still got it off.
That play started at the other end. Grady was kind of walking back. He wasn't sprinting. And they saved the ball to where he was, and he got caught in no man's land.
Schroeder at the far elbow. Got a good look at a jumper, turned the corner and missed it. And the Raptors down 8, could be down 10 in a moment after fighting back to tie it. They have yet to trail by double figures, and that could change on this possession. Kennard fires a pass over to Tillman. Hands it off back to Kennard. Back to Tillman, right in the paint. Floats one up over Boucher, missed it, and crashing the glass was Schroeder.
Raptors dodge a bullet.
Barnes skips into the paint, tried to fire far sideline to Grady. It was deflected away by Gilliard, and the Raptors will keep it with 18 on the shot clock, inbounding from the far sideline. Barrett, quickly, Porter coming back into the game as Young, Dick, and Barnes sit down. .7:21 to play first half. Barrett on the sideline, far side. Went to throw it in. It was kicked by Kennard. And the ball goes all the way down the floor toward the Raptors baseline as the officials have to track it down and sprint back down, getting set to toss it in again.
Shot clock reset to 18 seconds.
Shot clock reset to 18 as it looked like 1 second had come off. Raptors get it in. Barrett to Schroeder to quickly at the free throw line. Cut off by Kennard, goes back out to Schroeder. Dennis straight away, now driving on the near side. Sees a seam, got toward the 10, then handed off to Porter, who was blocked. My goodness, G.G. Jackson came out of nowhere and snuffed out Porter. Kennard triple on the wing near side, missed it, and Toronto dodged a big one right there.
Porter thought he had more time, and great quickness by Jackson.
Barrett in the lane, running floater, no good, too strong. It popped out, his first miss of the game. He wanted a call, didn't get it. Raptors got a little cold here the last few possessions. Still trailing by 8. Kennard out on the wing, far side. Now driving down Main Street, gets into the paint. Hands it off to Tillman, who turns, fires, floats up an air ball, and the Raptors pull down the rebound and push ahead. Near side, Schroeder across center, now into the far corner, or near corner, excuse me. Back out to Boucher on the wing. Chris for 3, it's good, and the Raptors have cut it to 5. Gilliard across center for the Grizz. Schroeder's in front of him. Dennis already 11 minutes in the ball game. Nice backdoor cut. Aldama dunks it down as he beat Boucher to the 10.
Just an awareness there of where your man is and where you are in space.
Schroeder, 3-ball, near side, rattled halfway down, popped out, down low. Boucher did the dirty work, seemed to have the ball but couldn't squeeze, and the Grizz take it away. Kennard's got it, far side, driving into the paint, took a bump, throws it up, got the bucket, and a 3-point opportunity coming for Luke Kennard.
I mean, that is the right thing to do, not let Luke Kennard stand there and get comfortable, but in transition, you've got to slow him, at least stop the ball. Let the defense get set.
Kennard goes to the free throw line. And the Raptors have fought back to tie it at 32. And now trail again by 9. Kennard missing the free throw, though. And that's extremely rare for a guy that shoots 94% at the line. Barrett, cross-court pass back out on the perimeter to Boucher, who missed the 3-ball. And the Raptors get back on D. Jonesy Toronto has plummeted to 48% in terms of their shooting. They were well above 60 for most of this game. Kennard in the paint. Went right, spins back left, lost the handle, deflected by Boucher. Kennard gets it back to Jackson, to Gilliard. Gilliard in front of Boucher, step back, jumper, good.
Tough shot. Chris was right there. Little man able to free up and find some space.
And on the far side baseline, quickly couldn't come up with a jumper from about 16 feet, and back the other way we go.
Part of the Raptors' problem is not the fact that they're just missing shots. They're taking tougher shots right now. The selection not great.
Kennard, 3-ball, hit the front of the rim and wouldn't crawl in for him, so the Raptors grabbed the rebound. Toronto in a funk right now, down 11, Memphis' largest lead. Barrett on the far side, driving toward the 10, cut off on the baseline, goes back out to Schroeder, to Porter, back to Schroeder, cross-court over to Quickly, nearly picked off. Quickly, now he goes left to right, cross-court, over to Barrett, 3-ball, great look, wide open, missed it. Boucher cleans it up, under the 10, Boucher fouled, and Chris will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was it, good job. Porter needed to swing it one more. Maybe Quickly just told him that. Quickly was standing locked and loaded.
Number 10, Luke Kennard of the Grizzlies. That is his first team foul number 1. Chris Boucher, I believe it was a
So Boucher heads to the free throw line with 3 points in the ball game, and that first free throw crawls over for Chris Boucher.
46, John Conchar, both back into the game for the Grizzlies. Gary Trent Jr. and Scotty
46-36. It's a 10-point lead for Memphis as Jaren Jackson Jr. comes back into the ballgame. It's Aldama, who's out on the floor still, along with Jackson, Conchar, G.G. Jackson, and Vince Williams. Barnes, Boucher, Trent, Barrett, and Quickly for the Raptors. Aldama fake the handoff. Goes up top now to G.G. Jackson. Handing off to Vince Williams. Cross court, right to left over to Conchar. Driving the baseline far side. Went back up top to Jaren Jackson. He's got to get it up as the shot clock was hitting 0, and he floated up a tough one. Raptors grabbed the rebound. Trying to push ahead right here. Quickly using that speed. Cross to Conchar into the paint. Hit, no call. How was that not a foul? Aldama 3-ball, back rim no good, high for the rebound. Boucher grabs it and quickly fires it ahead to Emmanuel, who lobs it up to RJ for the dunk, and the alley-oop is good.
Well, that's the play that Quickly should have made on the last possession. They hit ahead to Trent, would have put Memphis in more peril, but they got it done that time.
Aldama thought about the 3, but a great cut from Conchar. Instead, he finds the pass, and great execution by the Grizz to go up 48-39. 3:15 to go in the first half. Raptors trailing by 9. Barnes on the near side, trying to back his way into the paint. Turns, draws 4 defenders, kicks out to a wide-open Gary Trent, and he knocks it down for 3.
That's a welcome addition, seeing Gary Trent get going, his first bucket of the game.
He and Quickly each with only 1 field goal make. G.G. Jackson to Vince Williams, near side, puts it on the floor, driving on Barnes. Cut off, goes back up top to Jaren Jackson. Jaren spins in the lane, lost it for a moment, got it back, finds the cutter. Vince Williams going to the 10, and he lays it in traffic.
I would be doubling Jaren Jackson Jr.
Barnes in the lane, fires out far corner to Barrett, who drives along the baseline, got to the 10, and missed the layup. I thought he was going to dunk that thing. Memphis leading 50-42, 2:20 to go first half. First half action, second quarter action. Brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. Jaren Jackson trying to back his way down on the near side. Cut off on the baseline, goes out to Williams. Vince, cross court, over to Aldama. Back to a cutting Vince Williams under the 10. Had the ball deflected, knocked away by Boucher.
He's out of bounds.
Backs it down in the far corner, and the shot clock winds down, and a shot clock violation.
What was John Connolly, the official, looking at? Vince Williams holding the ball. He was out of bounds. Like a foot, like one straddling the baseline. Her engineer, JR, shaking his head. I mean, that...
50-42. Memphis leading the Raptors by 8 with 2:03 to go in the first half on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590. The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Unhibernate, a verb. To laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage, I'm going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
Sometimes a smile isn't a smile. Sometimes it's a shield that hides the struggle. For some who have served in the Canadian Armed Forces or RCMP, mental health challenges can take on many faces. If you're struggling, there is support for you and your family. Visit veterans.gc.ca /mental health or call 1-866-522-2122. A message from the Government of Canada.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. Paul Jones, Eric Smith with you. First half action with 2:03 to play. The Raptors trailing the Grizzlies 50-42 out-of-town scoreboard. Brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. Detroit hanging in against Milwaukee about a minute and a half into the second half. Bucks lead by 4. Cleveland blowing out Orlando in Orlando. They're up by 23. Second half just underway there as well. Also early second half. Philadelphia with an 8-point lead over San Antonio. And about 2:55 to go in the first quarter. Minnesota leading Charlotte 30-23. Later on, tipping off actually any second now, Boston and Dallas in Big D. 9 o'clock tip-off, Bulls and Suns in Phoenix. And Sacramento plays host to Atlanta. That's the final game of the night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Raptors out of the time inbound, far side. Barrett gets it into Quickly as we tick under 2 minutes ago now in this first half. Quickly over to Barnes. Barnes handoff to Barrett. Turning into the paint, fires back out on the perimeter to Quickly to Trent. Straight away 3-ball. Had a fantastic look, no good, but tipped back in by R.J. Barrett.
I've said this. I identified it early. I did not know that R.J. Barrett was that good a rebounder.
Barrett tonight was 6 on the glass to go along with his team high 13 points. Raptors just get a steal. Quickly the other way. Bobbled it, got it back, fouled at the 10, no call. And then as the Grizz try to save it on the corner, they flick it into the hands of Quickly, who ends up turning it right back over. Comedy of errors as Jackson came down the floor, got blocked by Barnes, but the Grizzlies pick up the ball and get a Kennard 3. Cue the Benny Hill music.
You just got to hang on to the ball. I mean, sounds simple, but don't try to dribble out of traffic. Catch the ball, pick it up with 2 hands, secure it before you start any kind of movement activity.
Trent in the lane, a lot of contact. Again, he gets knocked like a pinball between 2 defenders. Darko is losing it on the sideline, and understandably so. Raptors down by 9, driving into the lane. Williams cut off in there a long time, and they finally call it.
He was about 5 seconds in there. That doesn't count the push-off on the drive, moving R.J. Barrett's arm that was in front of him.
53-44, Memphis leading with 39 seconds to go. See if the Raptors go a little 2-for-1 right here. Quickly into the lane, fires out, far corner. Brown, 3-ball, had a great look, missed it. Jonesy, Toronto has a lot of wide open looks fallen by the wayside.
Got to knock them down.
Still shooting 41%, but they got at least 2-3 that they should have knocked down on top of that. Memphis can't hold for the last shot, but they're trying to milk down as much as they can with about a 6.5-second differential. Vince Williams over to Kennard, over the shoulder pass to Jackson. What a block on the perimeter by Scotty. He saves it in bounds. Barrett ahead to Brown. Lay it in with 4.7 seconds. Memphis inbounds. Jaren Jackson sprinting down the floor. Long strides, throws it up, missed. And Barnes with the rebound. And a great sequence, defense to offense, to close the first half for the Raptors.
I need more of that. They did a better job of not turning it over, but still 12 turnovers, giving up 18 points in the first half. You know, we saw on Saturday, once the Knicks stopped turning the ball over, it choked off some of the Raptors' offense. I'd like to see if that's the case tonight with Toronto and cutting down on some of the turnovers.
Folks, Bet Rivers Sportsbook and Casino is here, and it's your home for chance this basketball season. Download the app featuring thousands of action-packed bets, thrilling slots, and exciting table games for you to enjoy all season long. Bet Rivers and Raptors basketball on Sportsnet. It's time to take a chance. Must be 18 plus, available in Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. Raptors down by 7 at the break, 53-46. When we come back, some halftime stats, then our halftime interview. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
There are many peculiar words in the English language. Words like solivigant, peregrinate, nemophilus, peripatetic, and conviviality. Yet, there is no word for getting the most out of winter in your Subaru, thanks to symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and X-Mode. Until now. We call it unhibernate, as in while your neighbors stay home, you'll be unhibernating all winter in your Subaru. So peregrinate to your local Subaru dealer today, and welcome to uncommon winter confidence.
To play, Red Rivers will make your day.
Take a chance, you'll see.
You like slots, we've got lots. Blackjack, roulette, take your shot.
It's where you want to be. Bet Rivers Online Casino has hundreds of slots, live table games, and more.
Take a chance.
Must be 19 plus. Available in Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge.
How to fix broken furnace. What's a heat exchanger?
You might not know how to fix a furnace, but we do. We're Reliance Home Comfort, and we'll take your call 24/7. And if you need a new one, ask us about our next day or we pay installation guarantee. And right now, pay no interest for 12 months on a featured furnace. So if you need help fast,
call on Reliance.
Financing OAC for a 12-month term with no interest accruing. Conditions apply. See website for details.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. At the half, the Raptors trailed the Grizzlies 53-46. Memphis shooting an even 50% in the first half. Raptors at 46%. But as we've been talking a lot about, and rightfully so, the story of the ballgame thus far, the Raptors turnovers, 12, leading to 18 points for the Grizzlies. Raptors did a better job in the second quarter of protecting the ball, but it certainly was a factor in them falling down by as many as 11 in the first half, again, with those 18 points given up off those 12 turnovers. 13 points for R.J. Barrett to lead the way in scoring. He's also the top rebounder with 6. Scotty Barnes, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks. On the other side for Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr., 16 points to lead all scorers, and 11 points for both Kennard and Vince Williams. 53-46, Memphis leading by 7. When we come back, we're going to give you a chance to get a little more analysis on the Pascal Siakam trade. We'll break it down with longtime writer and broadcaster Rick Bucher on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Ron is a teacher helping bright minds, but this time he needed help. Alpine Credit sent a cosmic superhero with a debt consolidation loan. She conjured a magic book, Debt Consolidation 101. Lesson 1, consolidate debt into one low monthly payment. Lesson 2, nothing. It's a short book. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
Pressler Law.
One call, that's all.
1-800-JUSTICE.
Car accident? Slip and fall? If you've been injured and need legal advice, call Pressler Law at 1-800-JUSTICE and get over 60 years experience, a free consultation, and a no-win, no-fee policy.
1-800-JUSTICE.
When you're in need of legal help after being injured, call Pressler Law for a free case review.
Pressler Law.
One call, that's all.
1-800-JUSTICE.
You there! I seem to have awoken at a St. Louis Bar and Grill, having traveled through time. Your sign, it says $19.99 for all-you-can-eat boneless chicken. Why, prices haven't been that low since
fidget spinners were popular. We're rolling back the price on our all-you-can-eat boneless chicken to just $19.99. Just our way of fighting chickenflation.
Well, that seems more plausible than time travel.
St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since 1992. Dining only, limited time, taxes extra.
This is a limited time offer. Vision's employee pricing is on now, and here are just some of the incredible in-store offers. Get a Hisense 75-inch 4K smart TV for $777. Car starters for $329 fully installed. Sony stereo amplifiers for $197. And even more lower prices than we can advertise throughout the store. Plus, enter for your chance to win a massive 100-inch Hisense TV. Employee pricing is on now. In-store only at Visions Electronics.
Porter Airlines puts the fun into flying to 5 fantastic Florida cities. Fly to Miami. Amp it up in Tampa. Fort Lauderdale. Go all in for Fort Myers or land in Orlando. And the best part of all this Floridian fun is your flight down and back on Porter Airlines. Your all-economy fare includes everything you need to actually enjoy economy. Find your Florida at flyporter.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you at the half. The Raptors trailing the Grizzlies 53-46. We're still kind of in the wake of the Pascal Siakam trade with the Indiana Pacers. Indy actually 0-2 since making that deal. But to talk more about the impact in Toronto and Indy and the impact of the trade overall on the most recent edition of Smith and Jones, Jonesy and I had a chance to chat with longtime NBA writer and broadcaster from FS1, Rick Bucher. What's your gut, your take on the Indiana-Toronto deal and Pascal Siakam for 3 first-round picks and a package of players, including Bruce Brown? What do you think?
It's a remarkable deal. 3 first-round picks. I like Pascal Siakam, and I know that the market and value has been has shot through the roof as a result of the Rudy Gobert deal and then the Kevin Durant deal. I don't know that I put Pascal in the category, honestly, of either one of those guys in terms of what his overall impact is. I think he's a very good, ideally number 3 guy, maybe on a championship caliber team, a number 3 guy. And so that said, I think he's a great fit for Indiana. I think he's a perfect guy for them. What they need obviously need to upgrade defensively. They've got some other pieces that with Tyrese, he doesn't have to be a playmaker. I think his personality fits Indiana. I fully expect that they're gonna load up on him and keep him for the long term. But I was hearing, and this was discussed since last summer, DeJounte Murray for Pascal Siakam, and that was still kind of floating around here. I don't know whether Toronto, whether Masai used that as impetus to get Indiana to move, but I like this deal a whole lot more for any number of reasons in terms of where Toronto is, how you get talent to Toronto, all of it. So I think the Raptors right now are a much better team than their record would indicate. I just had a chance to see them up close when they came through and played the Warriors. And so I think things are moving in the right direction. I told Masai directly. I said I'm really impressed with how you've been able to make over this team and what you have, because they're much better than I expected them to be. And I know the record doesn't reflect that, but I think that there are good times ahead for the Raptors.
Where do you see him now? Is he 1A? Is he 2 to Halliburton? And if they're a championship team, that means they're going to need another guy in there in the next few years with some of their young talent like Halliburton and some of the other young guys that are Mathurin and some of these other young guys that are playing really well.
Yep. Well, I think ideally, probably by default, he's 2A. I'm a big Benedict Mathurin fan, but he still has some growing and understanding on what to do and when to do it. So I think he has that potential. But as of right now, I'd say that they don't have the ideal number 2. They're a fun team to watch. They've done very well this season. I would expect that they're going to make the playoffs, but they're not anywhere close to a championship team yet. They have a lot of work to do defensively. And as much as we heard Pascal saying that, Miles is the ideal guy to play next to him, I think it starts with Miles Turner. He just doesn't give you enough. I think offensively, I understand why Pascal would say that. Defensively, I think they're so soft on the interior.
That was writer and broadcaster from FS1, covering the NBA for a long time, Rick Bucher. When we come back, second half action with the Raptors trailing the Grizzlies 53-46 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
So many kinds of cars in just one place, see them all. Your winning numbers, number 7 Auto Mall. Number 7.
Honda, Infiniti, Volkswagen, Toyota, Mazda, Nissan, and you. That's 7. At number 7 Auto Mall, number 7 means good fortune without spending a fortune. Come see how number 7 Auto Mall saves you time and money. Because at number 7, you're number 1. Martin Grove and Highway 7. Of course.
Number 7 Auto Mall.
Part of the Zankin Auto Group. Being an internet company, we know you have a lot of questions.
What's Telmax? What's fiber optic? How do I turn it on?
Let's clear things up. Telmax is a local internet company. Telmax offers 100% pure fiber internet to your home. Telmax has been ranked as the fastest internet service in Canada by PCMag for 2 years in a row. It's that fast. Curious? We'll answer your questions. Buy your internet, TV, and phone services online at telmax.com. Telmax, connecting communities to the world around us.
Simply better security, right from the palm of your hand.
Brevo is a leader in customized access control for buildings. Know who is coming and going in real time, access control and more conveniently from your mobile device.
From small businesses to multinational, Brevo secures it all.
Join millions of professionals worldwide who trust Brevo for simply better security. Learn more at lp.brevo.com/Canada. That's lp.brivo.com/Canada.
It's really not important to me to have a lot of things to show off, fancy cars, a giant home. Those things are just not part of who I am. But I've been coached and I've learned through my advisor that it's not one size fits all. Everyone has their own preferences. Everything that I do with Edward Jones is tailored to who I am.
Edward Jones. We do money differently. Visit edwardjones.ca/different.
How to fix broken furnace. What's a heat exchanger?
You might not know how to fix a furnace, but we do. We're Reliance Home Comfort, and we'll take your call 24/7. And if you need a new one, ask us about our next day or we pay installation guarantee. And right now, pay no interest for 12 months on a featured furnace. So if you need help fast,
Call on Reliance.
Financing OAC for a 12-month term with no interest accruing. Conditions apply. See website for details.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to start the second half. The Raptors will begin the third quarter in a 7-point hole. They were down 9, fought back to tie it, then fell down 11, and they shave a little bit off again to get it to 7 going into the break. And it continues to be the story, Jonesy. Turnovers. Raptors giving up 12 turnovers and 18 points off turnovers. And if they can clean that up, we might have ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, let's see if they can cut some of that and make a few shots. They've had some good looks. I mean, 46% isn't terrible, but the looks they've had, they should probably be a little bit higher.
Barnes to Quickly straight away. Quickly's been quiet offensively thus far tonight. They work it around back to Quickly on the near side, and he misses the jumper from 16 feet.
Tough
Rebound
shot.
to the Grizz.
Tough shot. Drifting to his right.
And nobody gets back as Conchar throws it up to Aldama, who dunks it down.
Thad Young got knocked down, and that's what created the disadvantage.
Thad Young just got his shot blocked, and then trying to corral the rebound, he couldn't squeeze, and it goes out of bounds and right back to the Grizz. So a quick hit for Memphis, and now a chance to go up double figures less than a minute into this quarter.
First 3-4 minutes of the quarter always telling, always gives you an idea of what might be to come.
Aldama waves off Jaren Jackson and brings it across center himself. Hanging out now to Kennard. turning the corner toward the painted area, knocks down a jumper from straightaway just above the free throw line. Lead goes right back to 11. 57-46, highest it's been all night. As Memphis had a brief 11-point lead late in the first half. R.J. Barrett drives to the 10, goes up and under, gets away from that outstretched arm of Jaren Jackson. He's played well again tonight. R.J. is 7 of 10 for 15 points. 57-48, Vince Williams in the lane. And he came in from the left side, threw it up with his right hand and got the bucket. He's played very well too. 5 of 6 for 13 points.
Very sneaky in terms of his shot selection. Only takes good ones.
Toronto trying to answer back, going the other way. We got an offensive foul coming in against Gary Trent Jr. Rough night for him. In fact, the backcourt of the Raptors overall, Jonesy, Trent and Quickly have combined to go 2 of 8. They're each 1 of 4 for 6 points. They each have 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting. Kennard thought about the 3. Now keeping the dribble alive, backing out towards center. RJ's in front of him. He dips around a screen set by Jackson, drove toward the 10, tried to pass in the near corner to Aldama, and Thad Young got in there, but it's a kick ball, so the shot clock to 14. And Memphis will inbound from the side, just to the right of their bench. Taking their sweet time to come over and do so. Conchar there. Throws it into Jackson in front of his own bench, and Jackson just sold that whistle. You got guys getting pinballed all over the floor towards the rim, Jonesy, and you're going to call a tiny little push 22 feet from the hoop, like, I don't know.
Well, they gave it back. Scotty sold it right back. Jackson on the V-cut, trying to get open at the top of the key. Pushed Scotty, and Scotty said, I can sell too.
How about you just wipe out both whistles and just let these guys play?
This is grown man's basketball.
Yeah. Barnes has it right now. He started hot, been a little quiet here this last quarter or so. Quickly cut off at the far elbow, now flicks it out to Barrett, turning the corner into the paint. Driving, and a strong take by RJ, and he flexes, and rightfully so.
Well, it should have been an and one, but play through the contact, young fella. Love to see that.
59-50, Raptors down 9. Jackson out on the wing, puts it on the floor in the paint, went left, spins back right. Barnes tried to stay with him, but too much length and wingspan from Jaren Jackson. The lead goes back up to 11, quickly across center. Trying to cross up Conchar, can't get free, goes out to Barrett. Over on the wing far side now, Raptors working around to Barnes. Now straight away, Scotty still on the bounce inside the arc, going at Conchar. Passes back out to Barrett for 3. RJ misses that one, high for the rebound. Barnes has it, wrapped up, wanted a call, didn't get it. He screams at the officials for the call, went to the 10, fouled, and they finally blow the whistle. And Scotty's going to go to the line for the first time tonight.
The foul's on number 13, Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Grizzlies. His 3rd personal foul of the game.
And he puts his hands together like he's praying and looks up to the skies and then stares over the officials. 9:19 to go in the third. Raptors down 11, 61-50. Barnes at the free throw line, dips, fires, and knocks down the first one. Scotty with 9 points in the ball game. Toronto trailing by 10. Second free throw is up and in. Raptors doing a solid job at the stripe tonight, 7 of 8 as a team.
Well, they need some defense. Last few looks for Memphis have been pretty easy.
Grizzlies shooting 55%. Kennard out on the wing, far side to Aldama. Aldama trying to go to work against Thad Young, got into the paint, went left, came back right, passes back out, near side to Conchar. They give it up to Williams, and he missed the shot. Raptors got a piece of that one. Defense turned offense, we'll see.
Really good defense, good double.
And a triple for Scotty Barnes, and he looks like quickly out there skipping back on D. Raptors cut it to 6. Aldama quickly back though, and a late whistle as well to give him an and one. Thad Young does not like that call.
Well, Forte, the referee, calling that, as you said, very late, and it was just, there was no foul. It was just physical contact between two guys.
Here's what I don't like as well, Jonesy. A veteran like Thad Young.
That's a veteran. The guy's been in the league 18 years.
But he went to have a conversation with Forte, walking towards him with the ball. I mean, I can't tell from here, but it certainly didn't look like he was animated and dropping expletives. And Forte walked up to Thad Young, took the ball from him, and walked away. Scotty Barnes, 3-ball, no good, after the free throw was good on the other end for Aldama. So the lead is back up to 9 for Memphis, 64-55. Jaren Jackson backing down toward the block, kicks back out to Kennard for 3, and it's good on a laser. The lead at 12, largest it's been all evening.
I'll tell you, the first few minutes of the half were about 4 minutes in, and Memphis has increased their lead.
Barnes cut off near the block, passes out cross court on the wing. It's Trent. Trent drives down Main Street to a cutter. Barrett stops on a dime, lays it up, no good. Took the contact from Jackson. Man, he has not been shying away from the paint at all tonight.
No, RJ, I tell you, he gets downhill. He's much more physical than I'm sure people anticipated when he got here. I mean, that I knew about him. Going downhill, the physical part. I'm impressed with him as a rebounder. That's something I did not know he had.
17 points and counting for RJ as he steps to the free throw line and knocks down the first one. Raptors trail 67-56. It's an 11-point lead for Memphis as Xavier Tillman comes into the ballgame. Dennis Schroeder, Bruce Brown coming in for Toronto. We'll give you the lineups on the floor once everybody's set and in place. Gary Trent sitting down, Thad Young sits down. So it's Schroeder, Quickly, Brown, Barnes, and Barrett. Raptors going small again with Jaren Jackson sitting down. Aldama out there still. It's Aldama, Conchar, Tillman, Vince Williams, and Luke Kennard. Tillman, far side. Goes to Conchar at center. Conchar's got it, trying to spin away from Schroeder. Over to Kennard. Over the shoulder pass into the far corner. Aldama for 3, knocks it down. Biggest lead of the game now at 13, 70-57.
Again, allowing penetration.
Barnes trying to answer back, can't straight away. No good on the 3.
Got to be careful not to get into their game, shooting the 3 back and forth. They're doing it off better ball movement.
Kennard to the 10 on a reverse layup, missed it. Raptors grab the rebound, push ahead. Here comes Brown over in the far corner to Barrett. Barrett driving on Aldama, no look pass to the near side. Brown tried to drive baseline, lost the handle, picked up by Barrett. RJ's got it, 10 on the shot clock, near side, inside the arc. Barrett now gave it up to Barnes, over to Brown, far side to Quickly. 3-ball, no good. Raptors crash the glass, save it on the baseline. Far corner, Schroeder, back out on the wing to Quickly. Up top to Barrett. Barrett drives on Tillman, weaves through traffic, misses the layup.
Wow.
Thought there was contact and no call.
All kinds of contact.
Williams, far corner. Kennard 3-ball is good. And Memphis leads by 16. And Darko Rajakovic screaming right now at Brian Forte.
That's exactly the same play that Aldama got the foul on against Thad Young at the other end.
73-57. The Raptors down 16, and RJ Barrett now trying to plead his case with Forte.
Forte saying that he's initiating the contact. It's the exact same thing. The exact same thing that Santi Aldama did at the other end to RJ Barrett.
6:41 to go in the third quarter. Raptors down big. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590, the fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
And a truck with 2 men, and a truck with 2 men, and a truck with 2 men, and a truck. Think 2 men in a truck, 2 men in a truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day, Think 2 men in a truck, 2 men in a truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2 men in a truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks. So give us a call today.
Unhibernate, verb, to
to laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage, I am going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Third quarter, Memphis trying to rip this one open. Leading by 16, 73-57. The Raptors getting very frustrated with the whistle on the floor right now. And Jonesy, you talked about it a couple of moments ago too. They're kind of trying to shoot themselves back in it. And unfortunately right now, the shot's not falling. Toronto has dipped down to a hair under 43%, and Memphis still rolling at a 56% clip.
Well, it's a type of shot and the shot selection. They're not getting it off the nice ball movement that they had earlier.
Out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. How about this, Jonesy? Karl Anthony Towns is 8 of 8 from distance and has 41 points in the first half against Charlotte, with Minnesota leading by 11. Towns again 41 in the first half. And in another score, Joel Embiid has 59 points heading into the fourth quarter with a 15-point lead against San Antonio.
Maybe it's something about this day, January 22nd, the anniversary of 81. Freaky Friday kind of stuff.
Raptors out of the timeout, get a triple from quickly. Then they get a Memphis turnover, so the Raptors will have a chance to put a couple more on the board as they trail by 13.
I like the scrappiness. Schroeder back in the game for Toronto. He's played well for them. Out there with Bruce Brown. We should have called Conchar for a flop a minute ago.
To quickly to Schroeder. To Barnes at center court on that logo. Now driving toward the near side into the corner, near corner to quickly. Turning to his left, getting into the paint, going back up top to Schroeder. Looks up at the shot clock. Dennis driving into the paint, splits defenders, and scoops it up with a left hand. Tillman out on the far side for Memphis. Hands it off to Aldama. He turns into the paint, and as he fades to the baseline, throws it up. Scotty held his ground, but the Raptors can't get the rebound. Tillman picks it up, goes into the paint, chest to chest with RJ, who took it in the chops. Down the floor, the Raptors come. Brown turns around out to Schroeder. RJ coming back into the play late, trying to check the chicklets, but it's not going to matter as the Raptors just turned it over.
RJ did a nice job going vertical. You know, if he throws his head back or sells that, maybe it's a different call. You know, that
took an elbow right to the face.
That leads with an elbow. Like the other day, we saw that same kind of play by Quickly, which was a basketball play, trying to get the high gather and get to the basket. We saw it in slow motion and looked like a punch in the jaw from a heavyweight boxer, and they ended up giving him a technical foul, a flagrant.
Roddy cut off by Barrett, couldn't get to the 10. Nice job by RJ. Out on the perimeter now, Kennard trying to shake free from Bruce Brown. Back to Roddy straight away. Shot clock at 5. Roddy went left, spins right, bobbled the ball, lost it, picked up by Scotty Barnes.
Good hands by RJ Barrett.
Scotty threw it ahead to RJ. It was bobbled in traffic. Now RJ's going to get teed up.
Yeah,
he got fouled in traffic, and he ran right at Forte and air punched about a foot from Forte's face.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't either.
I don't blame him. He's been banged 3 times, and the same call at the other end suddenly turned into a foul for them.
And Taylor Jenkins now upset because it killed a fast break for his team.
Well,
they had a 5-on-4. Vince Williams knocks down the free throw.
I don't blame RJ.
No, neither do I.
I don't blame him at all. One bit.
Tell you what, the crowd could get on the officials a little bit more right now as well.
Where's the crowd? Little noise right now.
Might want to get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, sitting on their hands. They've been doing a lot of that this year. Mind you, the team always hasn't given them something, but you got to give the team some energy too.
74-62, lead up to 12 for Memphis. Kennard bobbles a pass over into the hands of Tillman. Tillman tries to muscle his way to the 10, leans in on Scotty Barnes, misses the shot, rebound picked up by Quickly. Splits defenders at center court, goes down Main Street, lays it up. No foul, no goaltend, no nothing. They say that his shot was simply snuffed out. There were a lot of bodies there. Raptors trailing by 12 into the paint. Looked like Williams dragged that pivot foot as he passes off to Tillman. Backdoor on the baseline to Conchar, who lays it in, and the Grizzlies lead by 14. Conchar just got wiped out on a screen by R.J. Barrett. Quickly throws a pass over to Barrett. Back up top to Quickly. Above the arc on the near wing. Barrett wants the ball back. Quickly waves him off. Quickly bounce past to Barnes on the block near side. Turns to the baseline. Goes up toward the 10. And a very late whistle comes in to send Barnes to the free throw line.
Better late than never, and if you're the Raptors, you're trying to get the call.
76-62 with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Memphis still shooting 54%. Raptors down at 43% as Barnes goes back to the free throw line for attempts 3 and 4 in this game. Knocks down the first one. He's got 14 points in the ballgame. Gonna have to keep an eye on those out-of-town scores and more so the scorers.
Embiid's up to 59. He was at 56 when it was drawn to my attention, but he's up to 59 right now.
Yeah, still sitting at 59 with a 14-point lead with 9 minutes to go. You would assume he might, and not might, probably will see the floor again.
And what's the cat counter at?
Karl Anthony Towns at the half has 43 of Minnesota's 68. 43 points in the first half. Conchar just got the bucket for Memphis plus the foul, and the three-point opportunity could have Memphis leading by 15. Kennard drove toward the baseline and found Conchar cutting down Main Street. And the foul came in against Toronto. Conchar has been quiet offensively tonight, but after taking that foul from Brown, he's going to go to the free throw line. 6 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and 3 blocks for Conchar. Free throw up, no good, pops out, controlled by Boucher. So the lead sits at 14 for Memphis, 3:50 to go in the third. Barnes streaks down the floor on the near sideline. Boucher sets a screen. Barnes drives to the baseline. Now finds the cutter, Bruce Brown, coming left to right through the lane. Nice pass from Barnes and the finish from Brown.
That's a schoolyard play by Bruce Brown. Just cut to the basket.
7 off the bench for Brown. He's played well tonight in 18 minutes off the bench. Roddy, far side, driving on Boucher, muscles his way right through Chris and goes right to the rim and in. 80-66. Barnes trying to drive on Roddy. Cut off, goes over to Grady Dick on the wing far side. Grady now straight away, cut off inside the arc. Back out on the perimeter to Brown. Shot clock at 7, far sideline. A dangerous pass for Boucher, but he saves it. Shot clock down to 4. Boucher, bounce pass over to Barnes. Spinning, fading, far sideline. Bucket is good on a long 2.
Well, Scotty rescued him there. Raptors really got to pick up the defense, though.
Barnes up to 17 points, but the Raptors still trailing by double figures. It's 12, and you're right, Jonesy. The defense still giving up 56% to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Got to find a stopgap. Got to find a stopgap.
2:48 to go in the third quarter. Raptors down 12 on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Does your furnace have a habit of breaking down as soon as it gets cold outside? And your plans for a relaxing night at home turn cold, along with your toes? Not good. Luckily, a highly trained licensed Intercare technician can get your furnace fixed fast. And what we quote is what you pay. So don't get left out in the cold. And right now, get a free diagnostic checkup, a $99 value. Get your furnace fixed right with Intercare. Terms and conditions apply. Give your home more at intercare.ca.
Brian is going to take a bite of this Subway 6-inch cold cut combo and describe it for us.
Okay. Classic. Soft bread, the Canadian cheddar cheese, the layers of cold cuts, and the
What Brian doesn't know is that his sub only costs $4.99.
What? $4.99? Whoa! I've got to tell the people. Hey, guys!
There he goes. Right now, experience a Subway 6-inch Black Forest ham or cold cut combo sandwich for just $4.99. Only at Subway. Price and participation may vary. Extras, taxes, and delivery additional. Expires April 8th.
Stay cool in the cold at Don Valley North Lexus. Right now, lease the 2024 NX 250 from just $608 per month for 24 months at 3.9%. Plus, qualified Lexus owners receive an additional 1.5% loyalty rate reduction for lease rates as low as 2.4%. See DonValleyNorthLexus.com for details. A proud member of Wayne's Auto Group.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. The Raptors trailing 80-68 with 2:48 to go in the third quarter. Brown, Barnes, Boucher, Schroeder, and Dick. The Raptors' offense has been a little bit better, Jonesy, but the defense still struggling to shut anything down.
Well, you got a Memphis team that's pretty confident right now and kind of getting what they want, shooting 56%.
Schroeder brings it across center after Roddy got a pretty easy one right under the tin to put Memphis back up by 14. Barnes trying to back his way down on the left block. And we've got an illegal defense getting called against the Grizz.
Defensive 3-second violation call on the Grizzlies that results in a non-sportsmanlike technical foul.
Oh, interesting. Since the R.J. Barrett technical and his appeal to James Williams, Raptors have had 3 favorable calls from Mr. Williams.
Yep.
Now that works sometimes. Ask Mom. She says, no, go ask Dad.
I have a feeling if my son is listening, he knows exactly what you're talking about.
Any teenager does.
2:25 to go in the ball game. Schroeder straight away now toward the far side, looking to give it up to Barnes. Can't get it to him. Instead, they find Brown. And Brown thought he was fouled, but instead away from the ball, they're calling Scotty Barnes, who was battling for position with Vince Williams.
Now why is Scotty fighting that hard for position? The guy's obviously leaning on him, holding him, grabbing him, pushing him. Like, that is a dreadful call. That is an absolute dreadful call.
Kennard lost the handle for a moment, got it back, finds Roddy in the heart of the lane. Tries to spin on Barnes, floats it up. Scotty held his ground. Roddy missed the shot, but Tillman tracks down the rebound. Over in the far corner now, Zaire Williams gives it up to Kennard. Dribbling into the paint, looks for a moment, elevates for the jumper, missed it. Roddy all over the glass, couldn't squeeze. Ball bobbling down on the floor. Roddy down, dirty for it. Raptors trying to wrap it up and hold on. And I think we're getting a jump ball. Just a matter of who. Is it going to be Schroeder?
Well, if I'm Scotty Barnes, I'm walking to the jump circle. Schroeder not giving up the ball, even though like a fumble at the bottom of a pile in the NFL.
Well, Scotty did his job, Jonesy, except so did Schroeder. Dennis has got to go for a little walk there and head away. So it's going to be Schroeder and Vince Williams. 1:43 left in this third quarter. Grizzlies leading by 13, and Dennis gets on that pogo stick and wins it, but the Raptors can't keep it in bounds on the baseline. How did Boucher not handle that?
Well, and how do you know if Dennis Schroeder is
hey,
going to...
we could use Dennis Rodman right now.
He looked like Dennis Rodman on that one. If Schroeder's going to win the tip, it's not going to go forward.
Yeah. What's Dennis Rodman doing right now? I know he didn't show up for the Chicago ceremony a couple of weeks ago when they were honoring those great championship teams. Inbounding on the baseline, Vince Williams gets it into Tillman. Tillman faked the pass, now drives on Grady Dick, buried his shoulder into Grady's chest, and it's going to be an offensive foul, and Grady pops up. You love seeing that from the Rook.
Yep, sold it well. Got his chest in there, stood in, but just made sure with that little bit extra that the official understood that he was in position.
Barnes to Schroeder, driving toward the baseline, threw it up, missed it, but he was fouled, and he's going to get a chance to go to the free throw line. 1:28 to go in this third quarter. Raptors down 82-69. Be nice if they can get this thing down to single digits as we approach the fourth quarter. It was at 7 at half.
Well, a stop and a score will do it after these free throws by Schroeder. If he's successful on both, makes the first one.
Schroeder knocks down the second one as well, so perfect at the stripe right there. The Raptors have taken care of business at the line tonight, 14 of 15. Memphis just 4 of 9. Tillman whips the pass over to Kennard, and he tried to break the zone with a triple. Had a great look and couldn't knock it down. He could get down into singles right here. Great job splitting defenders. It was Schroeder who tried to pass off to Boucher, knocked away from Chris off Memphis. So Toronto will inbound on the baseline with 1:08 left in the quarter.
You wanted single digits, Eric. I said a stop and a score after the free throws. They got the stop. Oh, man.
And Schroeder just had his inbound pass deflected by Vince Williams, who then catches the ball and steals the inbound.
Vince Williams wasn't even looking. He had the back of his head facing Schroeder. When he made the steal, he just kind of randomly threw his arms up in the air, and he happened to time the ball.
82-71. Memphis leading by 11 with 1:05 to go in the third. Three ball, wing near side. Vince Williams missed that one after getting a pretty decent look. Scotty Barnes straight away. Staring down Tillman, goes over on the far sideline to Bruce Brown. Back over to Scotty out on the far wing, calling for a screen. Brown comes and sets it. Scotty turns to the corner, driving toward the baseline, and lost the handle and turns it over.
Scotty's had a few of those.
Yep.
And some at key times where he's just been a little bit loose with the ball. If you're the guy in charge, you can't have that.
Three ball, far corner, no good for Tillman. So the Raptors dodging bullets here, but unfortunately they're not converting on the other end.
Yeah, their bullets are off the mark.
Schroeder slowing things down. Cut off at the far elbow, now trying to bring it toward the baseline. Brings it back out on the far side. He's going to do it again. Turns into the paint, lays it up, missed it. Tip no good by Boucher. Falls to the floor. Grizzlies have the rebound. 7 seconds to go in the corner. Kennard, far wing, three ball, no good. Long rebound all the way out to Memphis. Thrown up at the buzzer, and a late whistle comes in, and they're going to call the foul against Chris Boucher with 1.6 seconds left in the third quarter. And was that on a 3 or a 2? I couldn't tell from our angle.
I think it was a 3.
Yep, 3.
Chris Boucher, that is his first of the game. Team foul number 5. Number 8 player Williams on the line, to shoot 3.
82-71. Make it 83-71. And Zaire Williams knocks down the first free throw. Thad Young's going to come into the ball game with 1.6 seconds left in this third quarter. Second free throw up and in for Zaire Williams. Jonesy, it's a minor thing, but why would you bring Thad Young in for Grady Dick with 1.6 seconds left? Wouldn't you want another shooter on the floor for the heave or for the last second shot?
I think you're more concerned about making sure you have a better rebounder in there.
Okay.
And Thad occupying the important spot down low against David Roddy.
84-71, 13-point lead. Make it 14 now as the third of three goes in. Barnes to Schroeder at center court. Heave at the buzzer, and he's blocked by Conchar. So the Grizzlies double up the Raptors from a 7-point lead at the half to 14 going to the fourth quarter, and work to be done, to say the least, for the Toronto Raptors.
Much work. They've done a better job of not turning the ball over as much, but not making shots, and Memphis still shooting above 50%.
85-71. Fourth quarter action comes next on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
There are many peculiar words in the English language. Words like solivigant, peregrinate, nemophilus, peripatetic, and conviviality. Yet, there is no word for getting the most out of winter in your Subaru, thanks to symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and X-Mode. Until now. We call it unhibernate, as in while your neighbors stay home, you'll be unhibernating all winter in your Subaru. So peregrinate to your local Subaru dealer today, and welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
We are summer. Are you ready? Are you ready?
It's on now. North America's largest indoor boat show, the Toronto International Boat Show. Take Go Transit to the show. Save time and money with Go Transit and Boat Show combo tickets. January 19th to 28th at the Intercare Center.
We are summer. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
The Toronto Boat Show.
Visit TorontoBoatShow.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action. The Raptors trailing 85-71 as we get set to begin the frame, Jonesy. Toronto down by 14.
Well, scores and stops, the order of business. And you got to start with a stop right now as Memphis has the
Who are you gesturing to?
I'm gesturing to former owner of the Raptors, John Bitto. I just sent a message over to him that Embiid's got 65 in the fourth quarter. And he looked at me like, are you kidding me? I said, no, I'm not. I just texted him.
It looked like you were giving airport signals to James Capers. I thought you were saying James Williams, excuse me.
No.
Sending in Williams officials and signals to the officials.
Well, no stop there as Gigi Jackson down Main Street on the screen and roll.
And the lead goes up to 16, matching the largest lead of the night for Memphis. Quickly, straight away, free ball, way short. In fact, hit nothing, an air ball for Emmanuel Quickly, who has struggled mightily tonight. Just 2 of 9 for 6 points.
The Raptors in peril here, really, really in peril.
Gilliard has it for Memphis. Out on the far side. Schroeder in front of him. Gilliard gets into the lane, hands off to Roddy, who Euro steps through traffic, misses the shot. Nobody boxes him out. He gets 3 tips at it. Toronto's got to get in there.
Well, it's their lack of size, Eric. That's part of it. No box out, but David Roddy is 6'5", 260. And he's going up against Schroeder and Quickly.
Well, and he just got in front of Schroeder's layup attempt on the other end, and Dennis left it short, and it turns into a triple for Gilliard. And a quick timeout from Darko Rajakovic with 10:48 to go, and the Raptors suddenly down by 19.
I don't like the body language walking into the timeout. A lot of slow walks. See if they can get something going.
We'll step aside for the break. And we'll give you an update on the out-of-town action when we come back with Toronto down 90-71 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
You've heard that sound before. A basketball going off the backboard and in. A bank shot. Well, that's actually the sound of a fan winning a Raptors jersey. That's the sound of a fan getting a signed Raptors basketball. And that's a fan scoring tickets to the NBA Finals. With the Tangerine Bank Shot contest, every bank shot the Raptors score this season wins a fan a prize. Enter for a chance to win at tangerine.ca/bankshot. Tangerine, that's forward banking.
Does your furnace have a habit of breaking down as soon as it gets cold outside? And your plans for a relaxing night at home turn cold, along with your toes? Not good. Luckily, a highly trained licensed Intercare technician can get your furnace fixed fast. And what we quote is what you pay. So don't get left out in the cold. And right now, get a free diagnostic checkup, a $99 value. Get your furnace fixed right with Intercare. Terms and conditions apply. Give your home more at intercare.ca.
Brian is going to take a bite of this Subway 6-inch cold cut combo and describe it for us.
Okay. Classic. Soft bread, the Canadian cheddar cheese, the layers of cold cuts, and the
What Brian doesn't know is that his sub only costs $4.99.
What? $4.99? Whoa! I've got to tell the people. Hey, guys!
There he goes. Right now, experience a Subway 6-inch Black Forest ham or cold cut combo sandwich for just $4.99. Only at Subway. Price and participation may vary. Extras, taxes, and delivery additional. Expires April 8th.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith. Paul Jones with you. The Raptors down 90-71 with 10:48 to go in the ball game. Out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. Jonesy, we continue to check in on the Philadelphia 76ers and the San Antonio Spurs. Joel Embiid is 23 of 40 from the floor, 19 of 21 at the line. He's got 66 points and 17 rebounds.
Listen, he's arguably playing better now than he was when he was the MVP. And I will say this. A lot of people say, well, he hasn't done it in the playoffs. You're right. But the MVP is a regular season award.
Quickly, 3-ball far sideline, no good out of the timeout. Emmanuel Quickly has just not had it tonight, 2 of 10. He's played so well since coming to Toronto, but he has definitely struggled this evening.
One of those nights. How do you impact the game in other ways?
Jaren Jackson into the paint, held up by Barnes, lost the handle, picked the ball back up, missed his shot, bumps into Barrett. We play on as RJ comes across center, finds Scotty skipping down Main Street, and as he tried to go left and right under the tin, he laid it up, and he was fouled. Zaire Williams saying, check that thing, review it, as Scotty gets set to shoot free throws, and we'll find out if the Grizz are indeed going to review or not.
Well, as we always say, a late call there. Yep. Scotty had missed it, and
Grizzlies do not ask for the review.
It's like there's one in the Buffalo game last night, that the Bills game, where a review would have helped, and they got to the line and got the playoff before the defense could make the call. Raptors picking up full court now.
90-73. Emmanuel Quickly trying to fight through a screen, picks up the foul, holding on to Jaren Jackson a little bit, so it'll be Memphis ball. Sideline out of bounds, just to the right of their bench. Raptors down by 17 with 9:52 to go. Getting word from out of town that Joel Embiid's got 70 points for the Philadelphia 76ers. Floating one up and in out on the right block. Roddy gets it to go and pushes the lead back to 19 for Memphis.
I got a commentary. That's a huge night, but it's a different era.
Barrett at the free throw line now, turning into the lane, scooping it up and in. Man, RJ has been a bright light for Toronto tonight.
21 points. It really is about some stops now if you're Toronto.
Memphis with 9:05 to go in the ball game, leading by 17. Driving, Williams snuffed out at the 10 by Scotty Barnes, saved though on the baseline by Jackson, then nobody goes up to get the ball or to contest the shot.
Scotty's your biggest guy out there as a rim protector.
Quickly, wide open in front of his own bench. Couldn't knock down the three. Tracked down though by Young, out to Gary Trent, wide open, and that one goes for Gary. Just his second made field goal of the night. And Jonesy with 1:22 to go in the ballgame in Philadelphia. Joel Embiid checking out with the Sixers leading by 15. Nick Nurse taking him out of the ballgame with a 70-point night, most in 76ers history. In the far corner, triple, no good for G.G. Jackson on an air ball. Shot it out of a cannon, missed everything. Barnes back for the Raptors to the cutter. Thad Young go up and unfortunately not go in. He missed the shot, and it's going to be 2 free throws for Thad Young. Now here's the interesting thing. Minnesota leading Charlotte by only 8. So that's still a tight ball game. They're going to need more of Karl Anthony Towns. So on a night where Joel Embiid goes for 70, Towns has 50, and there's still 9 minutes and 17 seconds left in the third quarter, and Karl Anthony Towns has 50. With less than 3 minutes gone by in the second half. He's going for 120.
Well, you and I have witnessed the second highest scoring game in NBA history. As a matter of fact, the 100-point game by Wilt Chamberlain, March 2nd, in Hershey, Pennsylvania. There was no TV. Yeah. So that iconic photo of Wilt holding up the 100 is kind of the only, the real visual evidence.
Conspiracy theorists will say it never happened, Jonesy.
Well, we saw the 81.
Oh, yeah. Zaire Williams, we just saw a triple go down to extend the lead for Memphis back to 17. The Raptors had it down to 14, trying to see if they can make one little push here with 8 minutes to go, 7:59 to be exact, but Memphis continues to make shots. I mean, their percentage has dipped below 50 at 48%, but the Raptors have dipped as much as well.
Well, they were outscoring by 12 points from behind the arc.
Tell you what, Jonesy, this script is getting similar to what we saw against New York the other night as well. Decent first half, kind of back and forth, and then getting away from them in the second half.
Yeah, dunked there by Thad Young.
Roddy, right to left, cross court over to Jackson. Jaren Jackson going to work on Gary Trent, drives him to 10 and lays it in. It's just size.
That's all it is. Got to the basket. Enough of a handle.
Quickly. Out to Young, back to Emmanuel quickly, over on the far side to Barrett, driving to the 10, lays it up and in. Quick ball movement there by the Raptors.
Yeah, good job by RJ playing on the catch. A quick decision and going straight to the basket. 15 points, 7 minutes to go. It's really time to make some noise if you're Toronto.
99-84, Jaren Jackson over to Zaire Williams. Williams straight away tried to go back to Jackson instead of elevating for the shot himself. He was wide open at the free throw line. Raptors get the turnover quickly on the block to Barnes, to a cutting Young, who lays it up and in with the left-hand scoop, and Jenkins takes a timeout.
Yeah, he could feel the tide maybe starting to twist and turn. And the Raptors cut it to 13. Really important if you're Darko. Come out of this timeout, maybe blow up what they're trying to do, trap the inbound, something like that.
So the Raptors have cut it to 13 at 99-86 with 6:42 to go. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Sandra and Kabir are celebrating 50 years of marriage by turning their boring bedroom into a spicy one. Oh my. Alpine Credit sent a super strength hero to help with a home renovation loan. New floors, windows, a heart-shaped button that plays this tune. Okay, I think that's quite enough. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. District license 12616.
Out with the old and in with the new. It's something you hear a lot this time of year. Making space in your life is what a new year is for. Get a fresh start in your home and your life with Access Storage. With a safe place to store your belongings you love but don't have space for. Access Storage can be your resolution solution with flexible and affordable storage options at one of over 100 convenient locations in Ontario. There's one near you. Get on with your new year. Access Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit accessstorage.ca.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you at Scotiabank Arena. The Raptors trailing the Grizzlies 99-86, 6:42 to go. We still got more than half this quarter to go. Raptors have played a little bit better defensively last couple of possessions, Jonesy, but going to be hard to stop, score, and keep this going.
Well, it's about making shots if you're Toronto. I mean, they're only shooting 43%. Like I said, the turnovers have been better. 4 turnovers. They've at least cut off that source of offense by the Grizzlies, but still not able to make enough shots.
Kennard to Conchar. Comes across center toward the far side. Picked up by Thad Young. Over to Vince Williams on the wing far side. Drops the pass to Jaren Jackson down on the block far side. Jackson trying to pound his way down low. Turns, fires, flings it off glass, missed. Scotty held his ground. Raptors get a stop. Barrett up top to Young, over to Barnes. Barnes into the paint. What a pass to Thad Young, who blew the layup and missed.
He thought he was fouled. That, like he was raked from behind.
I didn't see it.
I did. He was raked from behind.
But he just forced the steal on the other end. And we'll see if the Raptors can convert here. Quickly driving to the 10, up and under, and he missed the layup. And contact again, which has Darko palms to the sky. In the near corner, in front of his own bench.
Well, there's 4 points right there. It's a single-digit game.
Kennard bounces the pass in the paint to Jackson. Taken away by Thad Young, who dives to center court. Throws it ahead to Quickly to Trent. Right at the 10, blocked by Conchar, out of bounds.
Young was fouled, and Trent was certainly fouled. Jaren Jackson Jr. clipped Thad Young.
$99-86 with 5:30 to go. Quickly into Young. Gave it behind the back to Quickly. It was knocked away by Conchar, so the Raptors will do it again with 16 on the shot clock and inbound again. Faint Let's Go Raptors chant starting to rain down, and now it's getting a little bit louder here with 5:28 to go. Young in the paint to Barnes. Turns, fires, too strong, gets his own rebound back. Missed the putback right under the 10. Looked like he might have been hit again too, and he's skipping back, screaming at the official.
3 layups.
Jaren Jackson, 3-ball, straight away is good. 102-86 with 5 minutes to play. Barrett driving on the near side, got to the 10, missed the layup, fouled, and to the stripe for 2 instead of the and 1.
The foul is on number 46, John Conchar. It's his second personal foul in the game, and team foul number 3 for the Grizzlies. R.J. Barrett going to the line.
So Barrett heads to the free throw line for attempts 5 and 6, 23 points and counting for R.J. Barrett. 8 rebounds in the ball game as well for a very efficient evening for Mr. Barrett. 10 of 16 from the floor. Raptors down 16 with 4:53 to play, and the first free throw goes in.
Well, you know, as I said, Eric, 3 layups, and you can argue contact or not. They all could have been and ones. It's a single-digit game. I mean, the Raptors' shooting percentage has dipped to just over 40. Toronto picking up full court now.
After Barrett knocked down the free throws to cut it to 14. Vince Williams comes across center. Gary Trent in front of him. Williams now brings it over on the far side. Drops a pass to Roddy inside the arc. Guarded by Young and away from the play. We got Williams battling with Barrett. Barrett goes to the floor. Barrett got up looking to go at Williams, and now he comes into his ear and talks a little junk.
You know, RJ's trying to get over the screen. Williams hits him, and then as he's trying to slide off it and get over, the offensive player setting the screen keeps moving.
And then extends the arm and throws him a little further.
That's an illegal screen.
Roddy has it for Memphis. Dribbling around the perimeter, handoff now to Kennard, flicks it over to Williams. Vince in the near corner on the side. It's Conchar, elevates for a triple, misses, rebound to Barrett, sprinting down the floor. Here comes RJ, down Main Street, weaves through traffic, lays it up and in. RJ Barrett's got 27.
Well, Raptors picking up full court again. They sense the urgency of the time.
Down 12, 102-90.
Whoa!
4:09 to go.
Man, thought Williams traveled on that one.
Kennard turning the corner into the paint, got by Barrett. RJ recovered to get a hand up. Nobody boxes out, and Vince Williams taps it in. The rebounding, an issue in this fourth quarter. Toronto actually with an edge right now, Jonesy, 45-43, but they needed that one. Cross court, left to right. Trent over to Quickly on the near side. It's now Barnes. Scotty into the paint, drives on Conchar, buries a shoulder into him, hands off to Young, who floats it up and in. Again, the Raptors cut it to 12, and Coach Jenkins with a timeout.
You can definitely sense the intensity has grown. Raptors have picked it up. But so have the Grizzlies.
104-92, Raptors trailing by 12. We'll keep it here. We're going to take a quick break instead. A quick one with 3:37 to play. It's Toronto Raptors basketball brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590. The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
I want to get into investing, but I'm not sure where to start. Now, they say to diversify, but I am going 100% all in on all-you-can-eat boneless chicken from St. Louis Bar and Grill for just $19.99. Uh-huh. Look, I'm no economist, but those are assets I can appreciate.
Wait, aren't you the guy that lost his shirt on NFTs?
They weren't fungible.
All-you-can-eat boneless chicken, only $19.99, and only at St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good. Dine-in only, limited time, taxes extra.
Back at Scotiabank Arena, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 3:37 to play. Raptors trailing by 12, 104-92. Toronto getting 47 from Barnes and Barrett, but only 12 from Trent and Quickly. Jonesy, the backcourt, a combined 4 of 17.
Well, you got to knock down shots. Quickly's had a tough night, 2 of 12. Gary Trent, 2 of 6. Like you said, only 6 points each from those guys. And when you're shorthanded, you need everybody helping you out. Raptors normally have an advantage in the paint. They're being outscored by 10 tonight.
Thad Young out on the floor with Barnes, Quickly, Barrett, and Grady Dick coming in for the Raptors. Roddy in the paint, trying to work on Thad Young. Turns, fires. Thad Young held his ground, but the Raptors give up another offensive rebound. That ball was on the rim. It was tipped by Roddy, and the officials don't blow the whistle. Loose ball comes around, picked up by Grady Dick. Grady dribbles out of traffic. Ahead to Quickly. How do 3 officials not see that? Barnes turning, in the paint. Beautiful bounce pass to Thad Young. Curled it around the defender, and Thad dunked it down.
Well, it's not like that was a bang-bang play either.
Raptors have it down to 10. 2:47 to go. 104-94. Conchar over to Jaren Jackson. Jackson cut off by Barnes. Went left, spins back right, comes back left, floats it up and in. Great footwork there by Jaren Jackson.
I think you got to double that. Look, I don't think he's a great passer. He sees a double, he may turn it over.
Barnes drives into a lot of bodies, throws it up off glass, missed it, got his own rebound back, fouled, into the line for Scotty Barnes.
The foul is on number 5, Vince Williams, the junior.
Scotty kind of lost his bearings there, and he was throwing it up in an attempt to get the offensive rebound and stick it back, and he was fouled on the putback.
2:23 to go in the ball game. Raptors down 12. Scotty's going to try and make it 10. First free throw up and in for Barnes.
Pryor used the whole rim.
How about Scotty Jonesy? A couple of assists away from a triple-double with 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists.
The skeptic says he'd have those extra assists if his team could shoot.
Yep, Raptors have missed a lot of shots tonight, folks. Shooting 42%. Second free throw was good, so it's back down to 10 again. There's time if you get up and dig in on defense. Don't have time, though, to let the Grizz milk it. Oh, my gosh. Vince Williams just crossed up Grady Dick and went straight down Main Street for a two-hand flush. That was a heck of a move. Everybody on the Memphis bench responding to that one, and rightfully so. Quickly into the paint, high off glass, and it goes in finally for Emmanuel Quickly. Back down to 10, but we're running out of time here. 1:42.
Jackson at center. I think you got to send a double at him.
Jackson's got it right now. Single coverage at this point. Barrett does come over to double, but it leaves Kennard wide open, misses the three, and nobody there for the Raptors to rebound. 1:27 to go. Fresh 14. That might sink Toronto right there, Jonesy. Time running out. Quickly just went for a steal on Kennard. Missed it, but it deflects off quickly out of bounds. So 4.4 on the shot clock for Memphis as the inbound from the near side. Kennard to do the honors. Gets it to Jackson. Fires toward the sideline. It was blocked by Barnes, picked up by the Raptors. 1:15 to play. Barrett with a bounce pass ahead to Barnes, and it went behind him. RJ with the right idea, but the wrong execution, and the Raptors turn it over. That would have cut it down to 8, maybe 7. With 1:10 to play, Raptors down 10. 17th turnover for Toronto. Kennard out to Roddy. Back over to Kennard on the far wing. Shot clock down to 6. Kennard trying to drive now on the far side. Got to the baseline. And then he passed it off to Conchar, who blew the layup, but got the pass back. I didn't think that shot hit the rim. They set the shot clock, but either way, Raptors came away with the ball. Skipping down the floor through traffic, up and under. On a reverse, it's Barrett. Raptors have cut it to 8, but only 41 seconds remain.
Got to pressure up. Might even start to take a foul. Oh, Conchar.
Why not take the review right now if you're the Raptors?
I thought he was back court.
So did I. He had 1 foot on either side.
Depends on where he was established.
That's their first foul in the last 2 minutes.
I mean, Jones, you got 35 seconds left. Who cares if you lose the timeout? Why not look at it? Kennard gets away from trouble into the corner. Grizz working around. Vince Williams has it right now, far corner to Roddy. 12 seconds to play. Back up top to Kennard. Don't take the foul now. You've let 20-plus seconds go almost. Kennard weaves into traffic, back out to Jaren Jackson on the wing near side. 3 ball up, no good. Rebound taps out, controlled by the Grizzlies, and that's going to do it. 10 seconds left in the ball game. The Raptors got it down to 8, but unfortunately couldn't get closer. And Toronto's going to fall to 16 and 28. The Grizzlies will improve to 16 and 27.
Tough night.
Well, Toronto opens up this mini homestand with a loss to Memphis, and it's not going to get any easier, Jones, even though they do have a few days of practice ahead of them, which is a good thing. The next opponent coming to town is a high-quality one in the LA Clippers, and then the Raptors staring down the barrel of another big road trip. So things are looking a little rough right now for Toronto, and you hope they can put it together. Maybe this practice time will help.
Maybe. I mean, you're going to have 2 days. You're going to have to do a lot on video, but it's been tough sledding, very tough sledding for the Raptors through this time.
We'll step aside for the break, come back and give you the final stats and more from the floor as Toronto loses to Memphis 108-100 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
I want to get into investing, but I'm not sure where to start.
Now, they say to diversify, but I am going 100% all in on all-you-can-eat boneless chicken from St. Louis Bar and Grill for just $19.99.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm no economist, but those are assets I can appreciate.
Wait, aren't you the guy that lost his shirt on NFTs?
They weren't fungible.
All you can eat boneless chicken, only $19.99, and only at St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good. Dine-in only, limited time, taxes extra.
Are you looking for a trusted and experienced online high school where you can earn credits or upgrade your marks? Learn with Ontario Virtual School, Ontario's leading online provider with a 5-star Google rating. OVS has over 140 interactive grade 7 to 12 courses to choose from, including STEM, French immersion, and more. Sign up today, create your own timetable, and get access to their supportive teachers and counselors. See why over 25,000 students have chosen to learn with OVS. Visit OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
Sometimes a smile isn't a smile. Sometimes it's a shield that hides the struggle. For some who have served in the Canadian Armed Forces or RCMP, mental health challenges can take on many faces. If you're struggling, there is support for you and your family. Visit veterans.gc.ca/mental health or call 1-866-522-2122. A message from the Government of Canada.
One call, that's all.
1-800-JUSTICE. Car accident? Slip and fall? If you've been injured and need legal advice, call Presler Law at 1-800-JUSTICE and get over 60 years experience, a free consultation, and a no-win, no-fee policy. 1-800-JUSTICE. When you're in need of legal help after being injured, call Presler Law for a free case review.
Presler Law. One call, that's all.
1-800-JUSTICE.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590.
The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to wrap things up from the floor as Toronto loses to Memphis 108-100 the final. 29 points, 9 rebounds in the loss for R.J. Barrett. 22 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists for Scotty Barnes. 10 assists for Emmanuel Quickly, 5 rebounds, 8 points, but on 3 of 13 shooting. He struggled tonight. I'll tell you what, really impressed by the game of Thad Young off the bench. 26 minutes for Thad, 12.7 rebounds, 4 assists, but too much of Jaren Jackson Jr. on the other side for the Memphis Grizzlies. 27 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. The double-double for Vince Williams with 18 points, 10 assists on a very efficient 7 of 11. And Luke Kennard had 19 points. Memphis Jonesy up 7 at the half, up 14 after 3, led by as many as 19. Toronto never had a lead in this game. They had it tied in the first half at 32, but right after that, Memphis built the lead back up to 8-9 points and really never looked back.
Well, the size issue was huge tonight. Raptors are a team that usually does well in the paint. They were outscored 58-50, and many times Scotty Barnes was the biggest guy on the floor, and they had an issue with that. The rebounding was even, but Memphis just able to make shots. The second chance points, Eric, is something that we should pay attention to as well. It was only 17-16 in the end, but Memphis did a really good job with 20 of their 48 rebounds being on the offensive end.
If you're keeping track at home or out of town, as we told you about during the broadcast, Joel Embiid scored 70 points tonight. Sixers franchise high, and obviously a career high for Joel Embiid. And 70 points in the 76 victory And we are watching what's happening with Minnesota right now as well, as Karl Anthony Towns has, what was the last check? Was it 55 or 58?
59 after 3 quarters.
58 points a minute in to the fourth quarter. Thanks to everybody involved in our broadcast down here at Scotiabank Arena and back at Raptors Central. Raptors Reaction, our post-game coverage, is coming up next. Thanks for tuning in to Toronto Raptors Basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590, the fan streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
SiriusXM NBA Radio is your home all year long for 24/7 coverage of the National Basketball Association.
LeBron dribbling, drives to the paint, puts it up, in, and a foul. Are you kidding me?
We're bringing you exclusive access to the biggest basketball stars in the world.
Joined now by the two-time MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
To win a championship moving forward, it never becomes easier. It always becomes harder.
Enjoy interactive live NBA commentary all day long.
No matter how much talent you have, if you don't play as a team, you can't win.
Let those guys in the front office run the team, dude.
And, of course, all the nightly, rim-rocking, heart-pounding, buzzer-beating, play-by-play action your ears can handle.
Handoff, Curry takes another three. It's up and good!
Basketball is our life. On NBA Radio, Channel 86. And listen whenever you want with the SiriusXM app.
The National Basketball Association on SiriusXM. For a full list of games and channels, go to SiriusXM.com/NBA.
On Internet 881. 9 p.m., Phoenix Suns taking the Chicago Bulls. Suns on Sirius 162, XM 217, and Internet 903. Bulls on Internet 884. 10 p.m., Sacramento Kings face the Atlanta Hawks. Kings on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 905. Hawks on Internet 880. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Boston Bruins taking the Winnipeg Jets. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 922. Jets on Internet 951. 7 p.m., New Jersey Devils taking the Vegas Golden Knights. Devils on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 937. Knights on Internet 949. 8 p.m., Nashville Predators taking the Florida Panthers. Predators on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 936. Panthers on Internet 932. 9 p.m., Arizona Coyotes take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Coyotes on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 921. Penguins on Internet 942. 10 p.m., Vancouver Canucks take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Canucks on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 948. Blackhawks on Internet 926. 10:30 p.m., LA Kings face the San Jose Sharks. Kings on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 933. Sharks on Internet 943. And catch full coverage of the Australian Open starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on XM 392, Internet 982. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Monday, January the 22nd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the EPL, 2:45 p.m., Brighton faces Wolverhampton on SiriusXM and Internet channels 157. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Orlando Magic face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Magic on Sirius 137, XM 212, and Internet 901. Cavs on Internet 885. 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Pistons on Sirius 138, XM 213, and Internet 888. Bucks on Internet 896. 7 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers take on the San Antonio Spurs. 76ers on Sirius 139, XM 214, and Internet 902. Spurs on Internet 906. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Memphis Grizzlies. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Grizzlies on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 894. 8 p.m., Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Charlotte Hornets. Timberwolves on Sirius 160, XM 215, and Internet 897. Hornets on Internet 883. 8:30 p.m., Dallas Mavericks face the Boston Celtics. Mavericks on Sirius 161, XM 216, and Internet 886. Celtics on Internet 881. 9 p.m., Phoenix Suns taking the Chicago Bulls. Suns on Sirius 162, XM 217, and Internet 903. Bulls on Internet 884. 10 p.m., Sacramento Kings face the Atlanta Hawks. Kings on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 905. Hawks on Internet 880. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Boston Bruins taking the Winnipeg Jets. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 922. Jets on Internet 951.
Get the latest news, opinion, and analysis from MMA to boxing and the professional wrestling world 24/7. SiriusXM Fight Nation, SiriusXM 156, and the SXM app.
I'm Mick Kern with It Happened in Baseball. September 18th,
2006. On this Monday evening at Dodger Stadium, over 55,000 people showed up to watch the home side clash with the San Diego Padres. The two teams were separated by only a half game in the National League West standings, with the Padres sitting in first. They roared out to a 4-1 lead after one inning, LA tying it up after 3. But heading into the bottom of the ninth, the Dodgers were trailing by 4 runs and were facing John Atkins on the mound. Jeff Kent led things off with a home run against the right-hander. J.D. Drew followed suit with his own solo shot. That was more than enough for Padres manager Bruce Bochy, who went to the bullpen for closer Trevor Hoffman. Well, that made absolutely no difference in matters, as first Russ Martin and then Marlon Anderson both crushed balls for solo shots, tying the game at 9 runs apiece. The Dodgers ended up winning this one 11-10 thanks to a 2-run Nomar Garciaparra home run in the 10th, and they moved into first place in the West. LA and San Diego would both end up tied for the division lead at the end of the season, with both teams compiling 88 wins. The Padres were awarded the division title due to winning the season series. Both teams, though, bowed out in the first round of the playoffs. But on this day, the Dodgers ruled the roost thanks to those 4 straight home runs, which tied a Major League record. The 4th time it had been accomplished. The Twins turned the trick in 1964, as did the 63 Indians and the 61 Braves. Recently, the Red Sox, White Sox, and Arizona Diamondbacks have all joined that club. For it happened in baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 86, and the SXM app.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Monday, January the 22nd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the EPL, 2:45 p.m., Brighton faces Wolverhampton on Sirius XM and Internet Channels 157. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Orlando Magic face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Magic on Sirius 137 XM 212 and Internet 901. Cavs on Internet 885. 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Pistons on Sirius 138 XM 213 and Internet 888. Bucks on Internet 896. 7 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers take on the San Antonio Spurs. 76ers on Sirius 139 XM 214 and Internet 902. Spurs on Internet 906. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Memphis Grizzlies. Raptors on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 907. Grizzlies on Sirius XM channels 86, Internet 894. 8 p.m., Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Charlotte Hornets. Timberwolves on Sirius 160, XM 215 and Internet 897. Hornets on Internet 883. 8:30 p.m., Dallas Mavericks face the Boston Celtics. Mavericks on Sirius 161, XM 216 and Internet 886. Celtics on Internet 881. 9 p.m., Phoenix Suns taking the Chicago Bulls. Suns on Sirius 162, XM 217 and Internet 903. Bulls on Internet 884. 10 p.m., Sacramento Kings face the Atlanta Hawks. Kings on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 905. Hawks on Internet 880. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Boston Bruins taking the Winnipeg Jets. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 922. Jets on Internet 951. 7 p.m., New Jersey Devils taking the Vegas Golden Knights. Devils on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 937. Knights on Internet 949. 8 p.m., Nashville Predators take on the Florida Panthers. Predators on Sirius 209, XM 220 and Internet 936. Panthers on Internet 932. 9 p.m., Arizona Coyotes take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Coyotes on Sirius 210, XM 221 and Internet 921. Penguins on Internet 942. 10 p.m., Vancouver Canucks take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Canucks on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 948. Blackhawks on Internet 926. 10:30 p.m., LA Kings face the San Jose Sharks. Kings on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 933. Sharks on Internet 943. And catch full coverage of the Australian Open starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on XM 392, Internet 982. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Monday, January the 22nd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the EPL, 2:45 p.m., Brighton faces Wolverhampton on Sirius XM and Internet Channels 157. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Orlando Magic face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Magic on Sirius 137 XM 212 and Internet 901. Cavs on Internet 885. 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Pistons on Sirius 138 XM 213 and Internet 888. Bucks on Internet 896. 7 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers take on the San Antonio Spurs. 76ers on Sirius 139 XM 214 and Internet 902. Spurs on Internet 906. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Memphis Grizzlies. Raptors on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 907. Grizzlies on Sirius XM channels 86, Internet 894. 8 p.m., Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Charlotte Hornets. Timberwolves on Sirius 160, XM 215 and Internet 897. Hornets on Internet 883. 8:30 p.m., Dallas Mavericks face the Boston Celtics. Mavericks on Sirius 161, XM 216 and Internet 886. Celtics on Internet 881. 9 p.m., Phoenix Suns taking the Chicago Bulls. Suns on Sirius 162, XM 217 and Internet 903. Bulls on Internet 884. 10 p.m., Sacramento Kings face the Atlanta Hawks. Kings on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 905. Hawks on Internet 880. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Boston Bruins taking the Winnipeg Jets. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 922. Jets on Internet 951.
MLB Network Radio is your home for 24/7 baseball talk, featuring on-site coverage of every major event from spring training through the World Series and expert analysis from former general managers and players. SiriusXM, Channel 89.
For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton. The 1941-42 campaign did not start out with any huge dramatics for the Maple Leafs. They were coming off their second-best season in team history, but they lost to Boston in the semifinals that year. With the war going on in Europe as well, some of the Leafs were in the armed forces. GM Conn Smythe, he was also not present at all until late in the season because of his involvement in World War II. A solid season for Toronto placed them in their division, 3 points up on the Rangers. Toronto beat New York in round one, setting up what would be an historic Stanley Cup Finals with Detroit. The young Red Wings team jumped on top of Toronto early in the series, shocking them, winning both games 2-1 and then 4-2. Heading back to Detroit, Toronto took an early 2-0 lead in Game 3, but they fell and they trailed 3-0. Game 4 in Detroit saw Toronto come back from 2-0 and 3-2 deficits to win 4-3. Then they ran the Wings out of the building in Game 5, winning 9-3. In Game 6, they shut them out and had set up a Stanley Cup Final Game 7 for the first time in history. And Toronto would complete the comeback with a 3-1 win. That team is the only team in North American sports history to win its championship after going down 3-0 in the finals. Truly one of the greatest comebacks ever, and what a moment, not just for Toronto, but the game of hockey in general. The 1941-1942 Maple Leafs, greatest comeback in NHL history. For SiriusXM Sports, I'm Ryan Payton.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is SiriusXM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. SiriusXM NBA Radio, SiriusXM 86.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM Sports schedule for Monday, January the 22nd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the EPL, 2:45 p.m., Brighton faces Wolverhampton on SiriusXM and Internet channels 157. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Orlando Magic face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Magic on Sirius 137, XM 212 and Internet 901. Cavs on Internet 885. 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Pistons on Sirius 138, XM 213 and Internet 888. Bucks on Internet 896. 7 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers take on the San Antonio Spurs. 76ers on Sirius 139, XM 214 and Internet 902. Spurs on Internet 906. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Memphis Grizzlies. Raptors on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 907. Grizzlies on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 894. 8 p.m., Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Charlotte Hornets. Timberwolves on Sirius 160, XM 215 and Internet 897. Hornets on Internet 883. 8:30 p.m., Dallas Mavericks face the Boston Celtics. Mavericks on Sirius 161, XM 216 and Internet 886. Celtics on Internet 881. 9 p.m., Phoenix Suns taking the Chicago Bulls. Suns on Sirius 162, XM 217 and Internet 903. Bulls on Internet 884. 10 p.m., Sacramento Kings face the Atlanta Hawks. Kings on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 905. Hawks on Internet 880. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Boston Bruins taking the Winnipeg Jets. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 922. Jets on Internet 951. 7 p.m., New Jersey Devils taking the Vegas Golden Knights. Devils on Sirius 208, XM 219 and Internet 937. Knights on Internet 949. 8 p.m., Nashville Predators take on the Florida Panthers. Predators on Sirius 209, XM 220 and Internet 936. Panthers on Internet 932. 9 p.m., Arizona Coyotes take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Coyotes on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 921. Penguins on Internet 942. 10 p.m., Vancouver Canucks take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Canucks on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 948. Blackhawks on Internet 926. 10:30 p.m., LA Kings face the San Jose Sharks. Kings on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 933. Sharks on Internet 943. And catch full coverage of the Australian Open starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on XM 392, Internet 982. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM sports schedule for Monday, January the 22nd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the EPL, 2:45 p.m., Brighton faces Wolverhampton on Sirius XM and Internet channels 157. In the NBA, 7 p.m., Orlando Magic face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Magic on Sirius 137 XM 212 and Internet 901. Cavs on Internet 885. 7 p.m., Detroit Pistons take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Pistons on Sirius 138 XM 213 and Internet 888. Bucks on Internet 896. 7 p.m., Philadelphia 76ers take on the San Antonio Spurs. 76ers on Sirius 139 XM 214 and Internet 902. Spurs on Internet 906. 7:30 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the Memphis Grizzlies. Raptors on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 907. Grizzlies on Sirius XM channels 86, Internet 894. 8 p.m., Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Charlotte Hornets. Timberwolves on Sirius 160, XM 215, and Internet 897. Hornets on Internet 883. 8:30 p.m., Dallas Mavericks face the Boston Celtics. Mavericks on Sirius 161, XM 216, and Internet 886. Celtics on Internet 881. 9 p.m., Phoenix Suns taking the Chicago Bulls. Suns on Sirius 162, XM 217, and Internet 903. Bulls on Internet 884. 10 p.m., Sacramento Kings face the Atlanta Hawks. Kings on Sirius and XM channels 86, Internet 905. Hawks on Internet 880. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Boston Bruins taking the Winnipeg Jets. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 922. Jets on Internet 951.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
I'm Mick Kern with It Happened in Baseball. If you've got your 1975 Topps baseball set just kicking around, pull out card number 407. It's an oddity in the hobby, being the only baseball card ever issued for a pinch runner. Flip over the card, you'll see 92 games played in